All right.
Done.
So speaking of being done, we should probably look at getting started with tonight's game session. Hi, we are the members of Basements and Besties. We are an actual play A5E Level Up by Ian Publishing YouTube channel. I keep wanting to call us a podcast, even though we no longer are a podcast. We in fact have a camera now. So actual play, is that the phrase? Is that the thing?
Yeah,
I guess podcast.
Podcast is like a nebulous term anymore.
Yeah, it kind of is, right?
I mean, you could say vodcast.
That's the dumbest thing I've heard. Wow. No, I'm not doing that. Hey, why don't we go ahead and before we get started, let's go ahead and introduce ourselves. We're actually going to start tonight with you.
Me, I am Sarah Tramp, and I am playing Deidre Mills, a human rogue who is trying to find her place in a world without war. And I don't know what we want to do for that part, but it's St. Patrick's Day. My connection to St. Patrick's Day is that my family is part Irish and English, so woohoo!
It's a pretty solid connection.
Yeah, it's pretty solid.
Yeah.
Even though St. Patrick wasn't from Ireland.
All right, and we are okay.
And then pass it on to Colin.
Okay. Hey, I'm Colin.
Hey.
Hey.
What are you, 13, dude?
I am Colin Elving. I play Brock, the Bugbear Berserker, who finds life a little bit dull without an explosion every now and then. I, too, have a family that with Irish blood. It's my mom's side. And I guess also you might be able to put that together by my name being Colin, but...
Are you Irish or Northern Irish?
I don't know, Sarah.
Northern Ireland is part of England. That's why I was asking.
I see.
Yeah, it is a struggle to bear. It's not my struggle because I don't live there. But
Never.
I heard it got bad one day.
Never been. Sorry. Cassie, how about you?
Hi, I'm Cassie, and I'm playing Adelaide Oleander, a human bard whose story has stepped outside her Dragonmark house. St. Patrick's Day, I guess, adjacent. In college, our escape plan, whenever things got too hard, was Will and I were going to flee to Ireland and open a pub.
In fact, I'm still willing to ditch my family if I need to do that. I mean, I love you guys so much. It's really nice to say.
yeah,
I
want to take you to Ireland.
Yes. I definitely don't want to. I definitely want to just see it and not escape to it forever from the stresses of family. It's got real quiet.
Yeah, it's your turn. Is that your fun fact?
Yeah, is it?
It's actually common.
Hi!
Yeah, so we have a fourth member.
No, we know it's a fourth number, but we're going in a roundabout. But
Hi, I'm Connor. I play Colton Reeves, a human warlock who made a deal with death, but he doesn't quite remember the terms of the deal. My connection to St. Patrick's Day, or just fun fact of St. Patrick's Day, is from the age of 21 to 27. I did not have a St. Patrick's Day where I did not get almost blackout drunk. And St. Patrick's Day when I was 25 was the first actual bar fight I participated in.
How'd that go?
Oh, not good for him. I wasn't like in it. I was just like there.
So you were bar fight adjacent.
But you said,
Bar fight adjacent.
But you said participated in.
Yeah.
I mean, I was with the group that participated. I provided moral support.
Were you a chirper?
Oh,
I was the guy. I was the guy standing back going, "Yeah, you got him."
Are you hey buddy?
One of those. I was totally at a bar fight. I watched a bar fight from 2 tables away.
No, I was right behind.
Okay. All right.
I could smell the liquor on their breath.
Okay. We'll go. So my name is Will Tramp or Will, whatever you want to call me. Online, I'm the Seppen GM. I'm the narrator or DM or GM for this game. My fact is I'm adopted, so it's kind of difficult to know what most of my actual lineage is. My St. Patrick's Day fact, I guess, is that it's a holiday that I don't typically observe too much because
But you ate corned beef and cabbage
I
today.
I did. In fact, I actually believe I'm not wearing a hint of green today.
It's in your Mandalorian.
No, I know. I just looked at
Oh,
the
okay.
Mandalorian, and then I said that because I had checked, and there's not really any green. It's kind of more
I think
of
Sarah's
blue
the only one
and yellow. There's blues and
even
yellows.
remotely green.
Yeah.
My dragonfly is green.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, damn.
Yeah.
okay.
On the other hand, but in fact, to jump onto Connor's, I had been in numerous bar fights. I used to be a bartender and a doorman, and I've been thrown down the stairs. I have been punched in the face multiple times. I've had drinks thrown in my face. I've had glasses thrown in my face. Yeah, that's a good time. A friend of mine lost 2 teeth trying to defend me. That was a fun time.
I always like your bar fight stories.
Yeah, the
No,
bar
I
fight stories are a lot of fun.
remember.
We're going to create a YouTube spin-off series where me and like Ebony or Aubrey just like hang out and talk about our old bar fight days. These are guys you don't know.
These men fight.
Yeah, these men fight. Get Rick involved just to show us how he like piston punched the dude who threw me down the stairs. That was scary. Anyway, we don't need to go into that. We're a kid-friendly show. We are not a kid-friendly show.
No,
All right.
we are definitely rated M for mature.
M for mature. Well, mature language, I guess, but not mature content necessarily.
No.
We are going to go ahead and jump into our first ritual. We are going to be rolling initiative. When we roll initiative, we do so at the start of the night and maintain that initiative for the entire rest of the session. This tends to save a little bit of time in the long run, or so I like to think. For those of you at home watching, if you want to actually time and see how long it takes us to roll this initiative, and then see if it would have just been quicker for us to do it later?
16.
Yeah, you can if you want, I guess. You can put it in the comments. I will not read it.
Call him.
13.
13.
13.
Adelaide.
7.
7.
I forgot the die that I was gonna bring. The dice set that I was gonna bring for tonight because these dice. Oh,
You got a green one. You got a green one.
Cassie, do you want the last one?
nope. There's another box.
Oh, cool.
All right.
Boom.
So we got that done. The initiative. It looks like that's a decent spread. No, I do not want the sounds of that all over.
I guess the enemies rolled higher on initiative.
Right. No, so Deirdre
down,
is
Deirdre.
hanging out at a 21, Colton at a 16, Brock at a 13, and Adelaide hanging out at a 7. If I roll anything like I did on my Tuesday game, there's a good chance that you'll all be way ahead of everybody else. It'll be awesome. That's not true. I rolled a number of 20s eventually, but I started off
I was
with
going to say, you
Yeah.
crit us like a lot.
Yeah, you crit us
Well,
a lot,
at the
especially
end,
with that
yeah.
harpoon spider.
I mean, roll enough and you're gonna get a crit. Okay.
Yeah.
Ritual 2. We're gonna do the coins. All right. Okay, so coins. So what's gonna happen? We're gonna take a d6. You're gonna roll it. I'm gonna get my coin, which I actually already have, so I ruined the ritual already. Oh look, I already have another coin. This is the coin I had lost before. The coins. The players can turn these coins in to be able to re-roll a d20 roll. They can turn this in to maximize 1 damage die, or they can turn it in and make a minor edit to the situation. Once I get the coin, I can do the same thing and hand it back to them. It's kind of like a little tug of war. So did any of you roll a 6?
Whew,
No.
rolled a 5.
I get
Almost
none?
a 6.
Well, I think you did.
No.
Hey!
Alright, well I get the one that I start off with automatically, so I'll go ahead and put that in my little... I bet this is great on the microphone.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Right, no, it's peeking out beautifully. To quote Gene Wilder, "You get nothing, sir. Good day."
Nothing, sir. Good day. Alright.
They won't even hear it.
I know.
That's such a sad moment.
I keep talking with food in my mouth, which if my mother is watching this, which she never would because even she doesn't support me. No, that's a joke. Hey, Mom. But I shouldn't be talking my mouth full. That's bothering me. Anyway, what were we doing? What is happening now? That was ritual
Rituals.
number 2. We are now going to do ritual number 3, which is where all of you explain to me and the folks at home
Yeah.
what's been happening in the game. So, cue theme music. All right. Well, we're gonna go ahead and we don't actually have theme music, but if we did, this would be about the point in which we'd be playing it. It'd be great. Colin, we're gonna start with you. Why don't you go ahead and so last session kind of start us off. What was kind of the core thing happening in the last session? What was the title of last session's episode? If you were to give it a title.
The gang starts a small business.
Excellent, excellent. Okay, so what does that mean? Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, so if you recall, as thanks for rescuing him and his friend Chet from the clutches of a Dusk cell, Lord Bonal Ir Nelview had given the Dark Lantern crew the deed to a White Stag Manor in the Cliff Top district of Upper Dura. And upon investigating this manor, the party found it to be not in great condition. And so, yeah,
it's not in great condition. In fact, now, real quick though, Cliff Top, the one of the districts in Upper Dura. Sarah, why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about the Cliff Top district in general? What type of district is it? What kind of feel does it have? What kind of place have you found yourself setting up shop?
So we're setting up shop in a very bustling district. Like, we're right down the street from the Magic Emporium, I believe is what the...
Mystic Market,
Mystic
actually.
Market, I'm sorry.
Mystic Market.
And its iconic hat that hangs above it.
I think you're thinking of specifically a floating tower, but the Mystic Market overall is just a marketplace of various magical shops.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the one with the hat above it, it's actually a flipping book, I believe is what you're thinking of. You're thinking about the floating tower, am I correct?
The floating tower, yeah, I did.
Yeah, but we haven't investigated that in any way, shape, or form. But the district is really known for one specific thing. Can you tell me what that district is really known for, the denizens of this district?
Being richer?
No, the districts of the Clifftop district, who can tell me about the people who live in Clifftop?
Well, Clifftop is sort of known as being a haven for adventurers.
The Adventurers District. So adventurers of all shapes and sizes and stripes from all over the world, really, because Sharn is a major metropolitan city. The Clifftop District is known for housing adventurers. Specifically, they cater to adventurers, which is why the Mystic Market magic item market even exists in the first place. So in this district, you met a number of people thus far. Why don't you go ahead and tell me a little bit about some of the people you've met there?
Well,
Cassie?
so first, when going to explore the new manor that we inherited, or were gifted, we met a man named Emic Froon, who we found out was actually one of the previous owners of the White Stag Manor. He was the one that Bonel's father actually got the manor from in a gambling incident. He has dreams of reclaiming his lost property and was a bit disheartened to find out we're the new owners.
Well, that's not necessarily true, because if I'm not mistaken, one of you has offered him a potential job in the future. Don't think I forgot about that.
Yes!
Was that you, right? That just sort of...
That totally was!
It totally was, yeah. Just met the guy and offered him a job. Very, very kind
I was
of
trying to be nice to him.
No, I know.
He's not homeless.
He's not homeless.
He owns the shop across
Came
the
off
street!
as some weird homeless... no, he's not... That's a
came
homeless guy. He
off
came
as
off as a homeless guy.
homeless?
What do you mean he comes off as a homeless guy? This is like when I mentioned Brad McGurty last week, and he's like, Brad McGurty sounds like an old man. What? Why? Continue.
Froon is not homeless.
No,
he
he's not
actually
homeless.
owns Froon's Pantaloons next door.
Froon's Loons. Yeah.
Or Froon's Loons. And then sort of the next set that we met was a trio of children. So three seeming to be orphans. The 11-year-old Sprat, the 10-year-old Jeremy and his owl, Justin Owl, and the 9-year-old Kelsis, who is a one-eyed tiefling. So the kids were playing in the manor. They had just sort of taking cover, playing and telling stories. They had also been hiding from Froon because they were throwing rocks at his abode. So they also make money by giving tours of the alley that the White Stag is in with made-up facts. So they gave us a tour of the manor, as well as later giving us a tour of the alley. The other entity that we met in the manor was Lif.
Tell me a little bit about Lift there, Connor.
So Lif is, as we've learned, the ghost of a former bartender of the White Stag, a very well-known one from the sounds of it. And eventually learning how to more easily communicate with him through the clever use of playing cards. Thank you to Cassie. We were able to determine that there was some giant rats in the basement, and he didn't want the basement to be open because there were kids there, and we shooed them out, killed some giant rats, and now Lift seems all up for us, rebuilding the white.
Now you have a special connection to Lift. What is the special connection that you have? Your character specifically has to Lift.
Probably the fact that my character has died, and Lift is a ghost.
Well, I was more going for the fact that you can actually see it.
Oh yes,
yeah,
I can see.
Who can actually see
I
it.
can actually see Liv. Like for some reason, Colton can see Liv.
Yeah, when you, in a reflection of the mirror.
Right, not directly.
All right, now we ended on some business beginning to be put together between you and Broxley de Galandra. Or Broxley?
I think it's Brax.
No, it's Broxley.
Broxley.
I said it right the first time. Why did I question myself? It's Broxley de Galanda. A halfling with 9 kids who also happens to be a member of House Galanda who's looking to help you get your business up and running so that way you too can have a chance at the tavern owning lifestyle. After he informed you that you have a number of interviews set up, and also gave you some advice on who and who not to maybe consider hiring to be up and running in time for the race of the 8 wins, so that way you can have the best possible business you can, best possible foot forward when starting your business. The young orphan Kelsis reappeared after Broxley left. With a man named Braun McGurdy in tow. Braun McGurdy is, as you may remember, he's a big, not a giant, but a big man nonetheless. Probably about 6.5 feet tall. He's built like a triangle. He's got a big red bandana, and underneath he has these huge mutton chops that kind of form up into a Lemmy Kilmister sort of mustache/mutton chop situation. He's got a tattoo that covers his face all the way down to at least, you can see it goes underneath his shirt collar. He's got a pipe, but the pipe is unlit as he's entered the room, or entered the main room of the tavern, and you know, you were able to determine that that those tattoos up and down Braun's face mark him as a member, or at least a former member, of a gang of violent ruffians that used to go by the name of the Red Brand, which were disbanded sometime around a decade and a half ago. So, as this man stands before you, he kind of gives you all a nod and a big smile and says, "Hi, nice to meet you. I'm Braun McGurdy. Kelsis here says you, were looking to talk to me about something."
Oh, hello. It's so nice to meet you.
Oh, hey there.
Adelaide Oleander.
Oh, nice to meet you. Braun McGurdy.
Pleasure to meet you.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, we're sort of the new owners of the White Stag.
Oh, the White Stag, eh? He starts kind of walking around. He's sort of looking around a little bit. He's not barging in as much as just sort of kind of looking around from a respectable distance, kind of walking in a circle a little bit of the common room. Like, oh yeah, oh the White Stag. This brings back some memories. Oh wow, that's the bar, the White Stag bar. Oh, the mirror, still a little off kilter.
You were a former patron?
I am. Well, sort of. Back in my younger days, I came here a time or two with my dad. He'd drink a bit, and then, of course, by the time I was old enough to start imbibing myself, the White Stag, well, they didn't really want me around too much during that time period. I went away for a bit, and then I came back, and by the time I got back, the White Stag was closed. Yeah.
Oh.
But it's real sad to hear. Real fine institution.
Well, we're hoping to reopen it.
Well, that sounds great.
So we just got done talking to Master Broxley de Galanda about.
Oh, Broxley de Galanda.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that guy. He's a real nice chap. Helped a lot of people get up and running in the area. Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we're starting our sort of round of interviews, trying to first suss out people to come and help with the renovations and sort of getting the place sort of refurbished and ready to open up.
Oh.
So
Something of a handyman myself.
that's what Kelsis and Sprat and Jeremy told us. Was that you're sort of a handyman in these parts? Is there sort of like a specialty in your line of work, sort of a?
Oh, pretty much
particular-
just any job that's need to be done. You know, if I don't necessarily know it, I can typically figure it out pretty well. This is a big job, though. This is what, a 4-story? Are you looking to just renovate the tavern part? Or are you looking to whole thing up and down?
The whole thing.
His eyes just kind of go. Oh, wow.
Which is why we're looking to. We've also got some of the guilds coming in, but it's quite a lot of work.
Oh.
So quite a lot of hands are probably going to be needed.
Guild work is good work. A place like this, I'm more of a kind of a small time maintenance guy. Guild work would probably be best for getting the whole thing up and running. It would take me I'm one guy. It'd probably take a whole team of folks here. You can see the rafters up here are not looking too, they're holding pretty well, but the boards up above them not looking too well. A few of those are going to have to be replaced. He starts now he's actually walking closer and kind of pointing out things. These windows here, good solid window. Window spaces here. You just gotta get new glass in those. That bar right there, that thing's that kind of walks by. That thing's solid. You're gonna definitely need to definitely no need there. Although new furniture, probably you don't want people sitting on those splinters over there. I probably need somebody to sweep that up. That's for sure. Let's see.
While he's going through this, can I actually tell if he knows what he's talking about, or if he's kind of putting on a show?
Yeah, go give me an insight check, or actually give me a. You're trained in carpentry tools?
No, I am not trained.
All right, you can make an intelligence check with disadvantage,
okay,
as you have no training in what he's talking about.
A 9.
I'm having a hard time telling.
Okay.
Hard to tell if what he's saying is genuine or not. Much like I feel with any contractor that starts walking through my house, and I just have to go. All right, am I paranoid or does this sound like bullshit? I have no idea. Contractors are the lifeblood of this nation, for those of you contractors working out there. They're not the lifeblood of this nation.
Except the ones that share vacation pictures with us and spend an uncomfortable amount of time standing really close.
We didn't hire that guy. He made fun of my last name.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Our last name.
Our last name, that's right.
I'll get you the name of the contractor who's worked on my 2 houses. He's a friend. He's a good guy.
Anyway, so Braun McGurdy. It's hard to tell. All right, so Braun, he's just now pointing out things. This
Just sort of following him around.
stone definitely. You give the stone a nice good clean, good scrub. You're gonna notice that it has a multicolored stone on there. Real solid stuff. I believe that they use a good stuff. I mean, it's a manor, of course. This wasn't shoddy. This place has been around for a while. And he just starts. He. If you just start following around, he goes to basically gives like a whole laundry list of basically every possible problem, and it seems pretty thorough as he's going through. Like there doesn't seem to be really anything that you can tell that he's missing as he's walking through here.
I mean, he seems like he would be a good foreman, maybe someone to tell people what needs to be done.
Oh, I'm not a foreman. Guild. You can't hire foremans for the guild. I mean, you gotta. I'm not guild trained. That's for sure.
Daily maintenance afterwards, it's all completed.
Oh, you're looking for a maintenance guy.
I mean, there's going to be things that break.
Well, that's for certain.
We're not gonna call the guilds every time some little thing happens. We need a good local handyman who can just get the job done.
I actually have a question about sort of maybe a special item that might be right up your alley. Have you done a lot of furniture, like wood furniture?
I put together a bench, a little like a box. You put it at like the edge of a bed. Kind of like a trunk, but not really a trunk. That sort of thing.
Have you done any like
chest? That's the one. Yeah. Put together a chest.
any like bed frames?
Bed frame. I'm trying to put one together.
So what I was thinking is, what if we had Braun maybe make like a triple bunk bed set?
Oh, you guys like to sleep in bunk beds? They're pretty fun.
No, it's for the kids.
Yeah.
For the kids. Oh, you guys have kids. Oh, that's great.
No,
you two.
It's the 3. I'm going to try to point them out if they're running.
You
around
just kind of
the
see them
house.
outside the window, sort of like running out towards the street and towards the main city.
Yeah,
It's like
them.
Oh,
Kelsa, Sprat, and Jeremy.
I'm well aware of them.
Yeah,
You're gonna get them beds.
so they can sleep here if they want to.
Oh yeah, I mean they'll just sleep here if they want to anyway, right? Until you get those windows replaced. Yeah.
But it would probably be nice if they had like actual beds to sleep in rather than like the
Well, I'm
floor.
certain they'd appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, I'd be happy to if you're willing to put them up. I'd be happy to put together some bed frames for you. Yeah, that'd be a real good thing you guys are doing.
So maybe that's a good place to start, and maybe
I got work that I got to do though. You know, paying work to put food on the table. But you know, when I can get some free time, I'll put some work into that. Absolutely. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, and
We would pay you.
Yes.
What? Oh.
Yes. Sorry. I thought. Yes, we're wanting to hire you for the job.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's even better. All right, yeah. Huh? Are you okay? Yeah. Beds. All right. All right. Yeah. I can do a little. Yeah, that'd be great. That'd be great. Sure. Absolutely. Yeah.
What would this is Sarah. What would be? Would I happen to know what a good running price is for paying him for a bed to be made, or for him to help with the maintenance? Like what a going rate would be?
No.
Okay.
That's an in-game question
Okay.
to ask, not an out-of-game question. We don't need to pull this out of game unless we absolutely have to. There are questions we can just ask inside the game.
Out of curiosity, for this job and also just maybe in general, looking at sort of future potential maintenance jobs and whatnot, can you, do you have a specific rate or any kind of estimates that you can give us?
Well, you know, most people, I mean, most people just kind of, if pay me in like food or like favors, I guess. He seems kind of uncomfortable with this portion of the conversation. Like he's not really used to being asked this. He goes, I mean, I got a buddy over in Old Keep. He does similar work like this. He usually gets paid about
Well, if you need to maybe converse with your friend and get back to us on
we really don't actually talk money that much. It's kind of
would a gold a week suffice?
he seems uncomfortable, almost as if Will can't find the answer that he really needed to find, and so Will has avoided this question. So he's like, I'll have to think about it.
Yes, no rush.
Yeah. All right. Well, but those beds, that's definitely something I could, after parts and labor and such. I wouldn't run into it too much. I mean, I ain't anything special, but I could. If you're looking to hire, I mean, if you're talking about hiring someone on, that's I don't know. It's like a. I don't know. I mean, I have to.
Of course, no definitive answers needed right now.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. All right. I mean, yeah. All right. Great.
All right. Well, it was a pleasure speaking with you and having you stop by. Just let us know when you come with a rate, and we'll chat more about it.
Yeah, that sounds good. Sounds like a good idea. All right.
And do you prefer Braun or Master McGurdy?
Oh, nobody's calling me Master McGurdy. That's a bit too formal. No, everyone just calls me Braun or Braun McGurdy or Braun.
Okay. Well,
Sounds a pretty informal guy. I would say
That's a good name, Braun.
Yeah. I mean, most people around here, they just call me Braun.
All right, Braun.
Well, Braun, I mean, obviously, we're sort of new to this area, so I hope we have a friendly relationship.
Yeah. How about I'll find some free time and start getting work on a triple bunk bed, eh?
Yes.
I'll need to go check out the room you're thinking about putting in, so I can get an idea of the height and such, and then we can we definitely also want to make sure that the kids have room to grow, and maybe make it to where you can
Right.
take them apart and such, and
Yes.
don't have to stay, because
Brilliant.
plus the whole thing about who gets the top bunk, who gets the bottom bunk. Middle bunk's always a pain in the rear end, because you got to both deal with the fact that you got someone snoring underneath you, but somebody peeing on the top, right? You got to make sure you got to figure out who's where. I used to have a bunch. I grew up with a bunch of brothers, so. Yeah, it's a whole thing. But happy to take a look at that.
You grew up here in Clifftop? Is this where your family's from?
Oh no. My dad did my pa. He did some work for the work up here and catering to the adventuring. You all are pretty decked out. You all adventurers and such. I'm sorry, I got your name.
Yes.
Who are the rest of
sorry.
you? I'm discombobulated. I wasn't expecting to be offered a job. Usually I get hired for a little labor here and there, so I'm a little discombobulated. My apologies.
Yeah, no problem there, mate.
What's your name?
I'm Brock. Good to meet
Brock,
you.
nice to meet you. I'm Brock McGurty. Brock McGurty, nice to meet you, Brock.
D.
D, nice to meet you. I'm Brock McGurty. Yeah, nice to meet you, D.
Colton.
Nice to meet you, Colton. Brock McGurty. All right.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah. Well, good. Well, kids seem to like you, so you must be pretty decent people. I'll get back to you about that whole price thing. How about we'll figure that out or something. Figure out what a fair price might be. I'll talk to my people, and you can talk to your people. And you all adventuring types too, or just bar owners?
Yeah, the bar owner thing is new.
Oh, all right. What do you guys call? What do you call yourselves?
Well, we hadn't really come up with a name, but we were thinking on account of the inn, we might call ourselves the White Stag Company.
Oh, that's smart. Yeah, that's good because you associate yourself with the white. It's like
some
free advertising.
brand
whenever
recognition.
Yeah, you'd be like, hey, I just saved you from the clutches of evil. We're the White Stag Company. We go to our bar. Things like that. Yeah. Good stuff. Associate your name with the brand. Associate the brand with your name. Yeah, you get it. Yeah. Seems like real smart stuff. All right. Well,
You want I should show you the room? With
that'd be a good idea.
Okay.
That'd be a good idea. Yeah.
Brock will lead him
Oh,
upstairs.
yeah, I forgot the entrance is outside.
Yeah.
Walks off.
I like
Oh,
him.
I'll go with
Seems like a genuine fella.
Real quick, by the way, for some reason I blanked on the numbers. The average day labor wage is anywhere from 2 silver to 2 gold per day. If you hire him as staff, though, it's actually rolled up into the costs. So,
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
cool. So, but my brain just shut down at 2. The number 2 I could not remember.
Yeah. It do be like that.
You do be
It
like
do.
that, yeah. So 1 gold, you're like severely lowballing him. You're
Okay,
just
I
like-
thought
like-
I
like
was
1.5
using
silver a
knowledge.
day. It's like, let me pay you what we, pay you if we could get away with it.
No,
Right.
that's not
No,
what
I know you didn't know. I know you didn't know.
Seems like a nice, genuine fella.
Yeah, it is. I think we should keep him on
I,
his staff.
I was
so.
following you, so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Kids like him.
If the kids trust him,
I trust him.
Yeah.
Jinx.
Meanwhile, we head upstairs. Wow, are these vaulted ceilings? Wow, these are great.
I guess we never really sort of discussed what rooms were being used for what, by the way.
Oh yeah, we're sort of flying by the seat of our pants today, aren't we?
Well, ceilings seem to be pretty uniform here, from at least what I can see. He's kind of peeking his head into rooms.
Mm-hmm.
I never been upstairs before. Well, it was real nice. Or could be real nice. It's kind of real dingy right now. Yeah. All right. Yeah, I think I got a good idea.
Yeah, I do have a couple of suggestions of maybe 2 options to potentially use as the room for the children. There's this awkward L-shaped room on the 3rd floor.
No,
Your opinions, Brock, are greatly appreciated.
I just want somewhere I can put tools.
Well,
in.
and that's another
That
question
sounds
I
like a
have.
conversation I may not need to be a part of. I'm
Yeah.
going to go and just get a couple of measurements.
Oh
here
yeah,
and,
yes. I meant to ask you though, Brock. So you're wanting a space for your tools and sort of your workshop. What do you need for that space? Like what? How
what-
much space and like what is needed there?
Well, the big problem is going to be the forge, because, forge takes up a lot of room. Workbench.
Like a blacksmith forge?
Yeah, for smithing
Okay.
and for tinkering.
That's a lot.
Yes.
Maybe that should go outside on account of the fire. Yeah.
Yes, I feel like, I mean, I don't know. I'm not a carpenter or a mason or a smith or whatever.
Me neither. Other than that last thing.
Okay. But I feel like probably like upper floors of the manor probably shouldn't have a forge in them.
They have fireplaces. Can you use a fireplace? No.
No.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
I think we're gonna have to build an addition.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went ahead and took some measurements. I think
Oh,
I got a
yeah.
good kind of eyeball of that. So yeah, I can go ahead and get triple bunk beds. Yeah, it's gonna be real nice. Those kids will really appreciate it. You know, they're in a little bit of mischief and kind of rub a few people the wrong way. But I think they're good kids overall. They just need a little bit of guidance. You know what I mean? Yeah.
And I sort of meant to ask, but I don't want to accidentally upset them with sensitive material. I don't know if they've mentioned anything to you, but it sounded like they mentioned at one point that Jeremy's parents are missing.
Oh, they're orphans.
They're dead.
Oh, I didn't realize you were here. Sorry, I heard your voice a number of times up here. And I guess I should have realized you were right up here since I kept hearing your voice. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
they.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
I
they,
even said it and made him cry.
right. They intimated that Sprat and Kelsus but they mentioned we'll find your parents, Jeremy.
I don't know much about what happened to really any of their parents, so that's really more of a question for them. I tend not to ask those sort of questions, mainly because I'm typically pretty busy and they're just running around underfoot for a little bit before they, head off to whatever they do. Yeah, that may be more of a question for them, although I have a feeling that it's kind of a sensitive subject.
Which is why I was sort of hesitant. But I understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If they ever feel like telling you, they'll tell you. Not my story to tell. Anyway. Alright, well, I got some good ideas of this, and I'll see what I can get done for you, and, good luck with all this, and I'll get back to you with that price and all that jazz.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah, sure, yeah, absolutely. Nice to meet you, Adelaide and, Brock. Yeah, that
you
should
got
be
it.
easy to remember. Brock McGurty. Alright, and, D, tell Colton I said hey, thanks, or such. I'm sure he stayed downstairs.
Well,
Goodbye.
It was a pleasure.
Good, nice to meet you. And he closed the door behind him
Okay.
as he leaves.
Well, he seems nice.
Yes, so did it come off like he thought we were just asking him to do work for free?
I think he's, the gang he's with, he's not used to getting jobs.
Sorry, gang?
He was with a gang. The tattoo on his face.
Oh, that's what the
Oh.
tattoos
Yeah.
are for.
Okay.
So red brand.
Okay.
Probably why he's not getting a job, so he's not used to getting paid. But if we pay him,
Lots of people do. Lots of people trade in favors for other favors. Just
but
Kind of
I
the
think
way
we should
you
pay
do
him. I like him. Kids like him. Colton likes him. He's better than the other guy.
The other guy.
which other guy?
Frowny.
Froon?
Loons.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I don't think
I
we-
don't think he offered to do any.
No, not
actual...
maintenance. I'm talking about he's better to hire as part of the staff
Oh, okay.
than Froony Loony. So.
I'm assuming this conversation is happening where you go back down.
Yeah.
As we're walking
and
back
you don't
downstairs.
just leave counter out of the conversation.
Yeah.
Colin's just hanging out, having a little drink by the bar, just kind of hanging out, playing with his magic a little bit. No, I mean I'm sure occasionally I kind of look up in the mirror and just see if I see him.
You can see, you see Liff. He is cleaning dishes. As you look over, you can actually see like just a hand towel and a cup just be neatly lined up and stacked over on the side of the bar.
So are we ever actually going to find out how much money was in that chest that you found?
Oh, weren't you going? I thought.
Oh.
Wasn't someone going to go get
Yeah,
it?
we had to go get
Right,
it.
we had to go. Okay.
Because I couldn't carry it.
Right, I said that because I was so impatient to go get it.
No, yeah. I mean, I'm more than happy to go get it. So. That's no problem.
And right, so let's go do
Yeah.
that.
Fine.
We go do that.
Well, I'll stay here because I think Broxley said some people might come today.
The
So
guild,
Yeah.
I think the guild people are coming.
I'll stay
today.
here with
You're
you.
going to talk to some guild.
yes.
Okay, so we can go ahead and... We had to take a quick pause. I had the horrible case of the hiccups, and that just does not make good audio. Anyway, so you both have decided to head back to your place in Lower Dura. What district do you live in again? You're from Castellan? Was it?
It's the one with goblins.
Malion's
Malion's
Gate.
Gate.
Malion's Gate, yeah.
Malion's Gate. Which actually, if I'm not mistaken, that's actually where you're from as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you both are from actually kind of the same area, it turns out. So that makes sense that you two may go together because you're regulars
Know
and
the
not
area,
outsiders.
yeah.
Sure. We're gonna just kind of hand wave a bit of this. You are able to get a hold of that chest when you get there and you kind of pop open the chest. Seeing if it's worth carrying across town to look before looking through it. We'll just say you probably pop it open in the little rundown apartment that you're kind of staying in down here. Fairly nice for this particular area, but anywhere else this would be considered a slum.
Right.
Malion's Gate is in fact the slum of Sharn, probably the second worst district in the entire city. Mostly goblins living here because it's the oldest district in the city, and goblins were here long before the humans arrived. But yeah, anyway, so inside of that chest, you're gonna find just a small little smattering of stuff. You find 16 gold pieces, 82 silver, and 250 copper. Nestled within, nestled underneath those coins and a little black velvet pouch. You open up and and you slide out 2 vials filled with a reddish liquid.
Familiar?
Can I identify that?
Well, okay. Well, how do you attempt to identify it? There don't seem to be
I
any
know?
markings on it.
Okay. Does it? I guess I will take a small taste of it and see if it matches any characteristics of like common potions that I would know about.
Sure, absolutely. Go ahead and roll me an Arcana check.
Okay. 11.
Hey, you had bitten your tongue earlier in the day, and that's been kind of getting you, especially with those bugbear fangs. So that's always
it's a double-edged sword.
double-edged sword, really. And the little cut on your tongue immediately heals. Like it suddenly is no longer bothering you. That little swelling goes down. These are potions of healing, basic.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, hey, that's nice.
Nice.
So this takes you some time. Moving throughout the city is can be a long affair. The city is a mile high, but it's not like it's straight up to straight down. It takes a while to find the proper bridges to then get to the proper lifts, and lifts don't even go to Malion's Gate, and neither do the sky carriages that go throughout the town. So it's a lot of walking, ultimately. So a few hours have probably gone by, but by the time you actually get back to your own, Cliff Top. By this point, interviews are already underway. When you walk back in, you can see that Adelaide and Colton are sitting there with there's a number of men and women sort of sitting at some tables talking while these two have on the other side of the room are kind of have a impromptu table set up real quick. Broxley is there with just sort of taking notes, kind of facilitating the meeting. And you've been meeting with a number of different members of 2 Cannith guilds, the Fabricators Guild and the Tinkerers Guild, who are giving you bids on taking care of the carpentry, roofing, plastering, cellars, plumbing, glassblowing, glaziers, and sign making even. Rather than have you interview a bunch of different people and hear the whole spiel, you said that you wanted to see if you can negotiate better prices. Is that correct? Okay. Well, first you talked to the Tinkerers Guild. What I'd like you to do is I'd actually like to, let's see how good at negotiating with the Tinkerers Guild you are. You're going to make a persuasion check, specifically negotiation.
You said persuasion.
Persuasion. Add an expertise dice if you have expertise in negotiation. I believe 2 of you do.
I do actually have negotiation.
Hey.
Plus, I have a D4 just in persuasion in general, so it
So
becomes
that's a
D6.
D6. Yeah. So the way that expertise works in A5E is that if you have an expertise dice, you add a D4. If you have double expertise, like say in persuasion in general, and in specifically negotiation under persuasion, you get to add those together, but you don't get 2D4. It just goes up a die. So you get to add a D6. And are you Are you taking part in this negotiation as well?
Colton probably feels a little out of his element, and he's more just here for moral support and to be a second ear to listen.
Sounds like a plan. So you're not going to be rolling this with advantage then? You're kind of on your own with this.
Great. 18.
18? All right. So you drive a hard bargain, but they seem pretty stuck in where they're sitting at. They're willing to offer the entire package to you for 350 gold.
This is from both or just
This is
one?
from the Tinkers Guild, specifically for carpentry, roofing, plastering, cellaring, and plumbing.
Oh, that's above Broxley's estimate.
Huh?
He said between 300 and 400.
Yeah, he did.
So it's
It's
right in his
middling.
estimate.
Okay.
Smack dab in the middle. So you negotiate at least to the point where you're not getting charged the highest prices, but you're not getting the best price either.
Okay.
Okay.
Then I will. Are you agreed on the price?
Yeah, that sounds good.
All right, then. Yes, I believe so. Also, just in case I do have my cards sort of at hand in case Liv wants to ever give his opinion as well.
He doesn't seem to be taking part in these negotiations.
Yep.
It seems to be just the two of you right now.
Okay.
Will is limiting the amount of NPCs for this hand wave of how this works. So the next you're going to talk to the Fabricators Guild, and I'm going to give you another chance to make a persuasion negotiation check. This isn't fun role playing. This is just literally rolling we're doing here. So Fabricators Guild, let's see what sort of a deal you can negotiate with them.
Rolling can be fun.
I think it is fun.
That is 20.
20. With the Fabricators Guild, you've got a kind of a better. You know, I imagine that you were a part of House Orion for a while before your character was exorciated. So, which means that you may be out of practice. But after spending enough time talking with various members of the Tinkerers Guild, from each of the different departments or so, you feel a little bit more in your element now. And with the Fabricators Guild, you drive a pretty hard bar. You get a little bit more, what do you call it, shrewd with your negotiation. Ultimately, you end up being able to negotiate down to where they'll actually toss in a brand new sign for free, were you to go with them, bringing your total to 250 gold pieces. For their work, between all the different glass glazing for all four floors, all throughout the house, everything you need in terms of glassworks, including new glasses and such to replace the many glasses that have broken since you arrived yesterday.
Got like 4 glasses left in the entire set. Unless you have any objections, then yes.
I think a free sign would be perfect. We were going to need to worry about that too, so yeah.
Excellent. The last guild that you have to discuss is the Hostlers Guild, which Broxley is not. Broxley is the agent for that, so he starts kind of laying out what they would handle, which is basically cleaning outside of, making sure the grounds are kept clean, and overnight the tavern portion being like scrubbed and sanitized each night after operating hours, and making sure also that trash is taken out and such to where it needs to go.
Getting the trash service.
Getting this trash service. You get those giant
Those
rats
boxes
out of your
dumpster.
dumpster. So why don't you go ahead and give me a persuasion, one final persuasion negotiation check. Let's see how well you can negotiate with this.
That was a much better
Good.
roll. That is. So that is 21 plus 5, 26.
Okay, he's willing to offer you a 20% discount on their services.
Nice.
On the services, bringing the total from 100 to 80 gold pieces.
Nice. Put it under
So is that
budget
the-
Adelaide.
That's the initial.
That's the
cost.
initial
Yeah.
deposit.
That's the initial deposit. Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm. Maintaining their services will cost will cost a fair amount of gold per month. If you want that entire package that they just mentioned, it's going to be 100 gold pieces a month.
That feels like something we might be able to enlist Ron's help with, maybe. Not for the whole thing. But
Yeah.
This is in addition to the regular set that already would do these things.
Yeah.
By the way, this is a but a monthly cost to ensure that that trash is picked up on time, not late. It also, making sure that the grounds are always kept regardless of the weather. You get the works. The inn will, the tavern will, as Broxley puts it, the tavern will always look as good as it can at any time you need it. We can take off any one of those services if you want, but each one, it'll lower the price, but each one you'll be responsible for on your own.
Is the 100 gold per month for everything? Does that include upstairs, or that is purely just tavern cleaning?
It does include. It can include. I can toss in making sure that there's deep cleaning of the upstairs floors twice a month.
Yeah.
Not any more than. I can't do any more than that though.
Right.
I actually would be okay.
Otherwise, I'd have to hire more. Get my kids involved, right? Is that what you want? Nine little rugrats running around playing harmonica. Please take them. I'm just kidding. My wife would kill me. She's right here. She'd be like, "Hey, don't joke about giving away our kids." Smack! I did it for you. That's great. That's great.
These are good services to have. It means.
I mean, we definitely want that initial. It may be something that we have to discuss and revisit the monthly cost. But definitely we want to start with all of it.
Oh, sure. You can always change your mind later down the line, but this would be you're in for at least 1 month. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Excellent. Well, all members of the various suppliers coming in. Various suppliers coming in tomorrow. We've got I got an interview with Hammond Craddock. Justin Rask will be heading by to be with the Butchers Guild, and then we had got Mingle will be coming by also. She's from the Bakers Guild, and I put out some feelers out looking for Gilda Dune for you. Not quite sure of her whereabouts, but we're going to see if we can get an address tracked down through the city records and see if maybe we can get her in here to talk to you about management. You're looking for a manager, right?
Yes.
Excellent. All right. Thought I had that written down correctly.
Yes. We need a manager, a bartender, and a cook.
All right. Excellent. Well, and she should be able to also help you out with how much staff. Exactly. A good manager will be able to tell you exactly how much staff you'll need and how much staff that you can afford. One cook, like. I'll give you a freebie. One cook ain't going to be enough to cover to cover the entire thing, right? That person needs days off. Am I right? I'm right. There's laws. Okay. And he'll take his leave. It's at this point kind of later in the day. And you wrap up your business. It's towards the end of the day here. And people leave and such. Is there anything in particular you guys wish to do tonight, or do we just want to kind of launch into kind of what the next couple of weeks are going to look like for you?
Next couple of weeks launch.
Yeah, there's nothing in particular I'm looking to do.
Okay, sounds good. All right, so kind of coast over this a bit. Yeah. So the next day, I say the next couple of weeks. What I meant was tomorrow. Tomorrow, you have a meeting with a number of different members of various suppliers. Hammond Craddock, who is a effete, well-dressed man who is accompanied by a young scribe, a young tiefling girl with blue skin and deep blue horns, with big rose-tinted, lightly tinted glasses as she takes notes. Hammond Craddock is your agent for the Venters, Distillers, and Brewers Guild of Sharn. And as he meets with you, he gives you kind of a rundown of prices. He talks a lot. And ultimately what he ends up offering you, and by the way, this is Hammond Craddock. Oh, hey, for you. And his scribe, Jenny. And as he goes over the information, they offer a number of different packages, ranging from your standard run-of-the-mill swill for 50 gold pieces a month to keep you in stock on basically boxed wine and light ale with a few bottles of Fireball or something, whatever dive bars are into now, ranging all the way up to the finest of dwarven whiskeys. Lazar Principality Pale Ales, and like fine elven wines all the way from Arenal. And that package runs $1,000 a month to keep that in stock. Of course, you can go higher, he says. You can always go higher if you want to make sure you have even the top shelf. I have some connections that can maybe even get you some alcohols from beyond the material plane, if you catch my meaning. I'm talking about other planes of existence. Wild, I know, right? Write that down, Jenny. I like that. Wild, I know. We're going to make that our new tagline. What kind of a clientele are you looking to get in here?
I would say other adventurers, perhaps,
Oh.
since that's who populates the area.
Pretty much just, I mean, depends on what kind of adventures you're trying to get into. Are we looking for like the creme of the creme adventures, or your murder hobo types?
I mean, we're looking maybe middling, maybe towards the top.
Oh, the
tier.
kinds that
to
always
high.
kind of go for a little bit of the, but never quite the top shelf, except for when they're feeling good, and always
Yes.
tip way too much, even though it doesn't make sense because they don't understand the bustling economy.
Exactly,
of an entire-
yes.
Yeah, you get it. You get it.
Yes.
All right.
Who
sounds
tips
good.
a waitress 2 gold, right?
I'd recommend probably probably start off with one of our smaller packages. I'd say 150 a month. This will get you a few of the top shelf items, but keep those fairly select so you can keep those prices high. You imply scarcity, of course. You keep them too high, and people will be going across. People will be going down the road to the Drunken Dragon. That's going to be hard to compute with the Drunken Dragon. They've got a selection. They do the 2,000 a month package, special, customized for what they need, but they make the money. So hey, they call the shots, all the shots, literally. Anyway, oh boy. Okay, well we'll get you set up with a basic package, and see where we can go from there.
Alright, so 150.
That's what I'd say about. So he rattles off a number, probably about 150 or so. Per month. There is no deposit needed. You just pay month by month.
Okay.
Okay. So so this won't go towards any startup costs or anything. Justin Rask eventually pops by, and he's a very gruff man. Very kind of dead-eyed, slack-jawed Justin. He's covered in scars, looks really rough, and he is not a personable man. He just very simply lays out the terms of the services, which is you get cuts of meat, 5 gold pieces a week.
Oh, 5 gold.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. My apologies. Whoa. 3 gold pieces per delivery. 3 gold pieces per delivery. 3 gold delivery. I don't know why I said 5 a week. It's 3 gold a delivery. And that's the standard price. He doesn't mention anything about good cuts or bad cuts, but you may remember that Broxley made mention
We expected this.
treating Justin with the due respect.
Yeah.
So, what that quite means, you're not entirely certain.
Would you have a recommendation on how many deliveries a week? Do you have a recommendation of how many we would have for a tavern this size?
Looks around. Well, you're empty. So none.
In assuming that this place was filled with people.
Big room. 5 a day.
Why don't we start off with a delivery a week? 12 a month? Just as we're starting out, we
You
could
just send a runner when you need more, and we
Right.
deliver more the next day.
appreciate it. No, that actually makes it very simple. Thank you.
Yeah.
Good. That way we can account for the race to the 8 winds. Order more then.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Could we put a deposit down with you just so that way we know you have the money in hand?
3 gold pieces per delivery.
Okay. Could I give you a deposit?
I'll have a delivery.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right.
So we send a runner, I think, with the money.
I understand. I was just trying to put a deposit down to make sure that.
He doesn't ask for a deposit and seems to get frustrated with the concept before he leaves. You eventually also meet with Mingle. She is a shifter woman. Very cat-like features. Probably what looks like almost like a wildcat, but kind of brown fur, white fur, golden yellow eyes, but then slick black hair, kind of pulled back with like 2 strands coming down here. Wearing a red shawl. She seems like a very she on the other hand is a very personable sort. She goes over various baking needs that you may need, and depending on how much you may need baked, and with sufficient warning, it'll be anywhere from like 25 to 100 gold per delivery. Just kind of depending on what you're needing. How the more expensive ones tend to be. I'm sorry, 25 to 100 gold pieces per month.
Oh.
She just tallies up the orders at the end of the month.
Okay.
Gotcha.
So she seems to be very kind and actually gives it first, relying a lot on faith that you're going to pay her back at the end of the month.
Cool.
But this, okay, so but it's another thing where it's like it just depends on what you get.
So you guys start basically the upkeep stuff. So there's, by the end of these conversations, you have like just lists and lists of like all the different packages laid out before you. And I like to imagine that really that each of these packages say 25 to 100, but then all the different brewery choices. You might want to start with the standard package, but you still left out like tons of packets of papers. It could take you days to go through all of this. As Mingle leaves, she sort of dodges a half-orc woman who walks in. This woman is she probably stands about 5'6", has wavy brown hair that is like kind of goes just past her chin, like just above shoulder length, or just above, I guess. She wears a very prim outfit, including a high-necked collar, and she's wearing like white gloves, and she looks like I'm trying to figure out how to explain how this woman looks, but it's like she's wearing like almost a pantsuit. It's a real modest outfit, but like sort of semi, not formal, but like a business wear. I don't know how to say it.
Is it like a power suit?
No, it's more like what somebody who would find showing too much skin to be indecent would dress. Yes.
Okay.
As she walks in, this one walks in, and as she walks in, she takes off her gloves and sort of looks around the tavern and goes,
Hello.
I suppose that you're the owners. And she strolls up to you. She sort of strolls up to you, kind of she's not really like looking around as much as sort of just glancing left and right, and kind of just there's a little frown on her face as she looks around. Yes.
How can we help you?
My name is Gilda Dune.
Nice to meet you, Gilda Dune. We've heard so much about you.
I had heard through the grapevine that the White Stag would be reopening. As she talks, she like sort of walks past behind the bar, and like she's just sort of walking now, like and looking around. She kind of runs a finger along the bar, and just sort of does this this. Been hearing through the grapevine that you're looking to reopen and perhaps looking for a manager for this place.
Yes.
Yes.
Let's see. Well, I assume that you'll be fixing all of this up before that happens.
Yes.
No manager worth their salt would ever work in a place like this.
Yes, we've spoken with the guild yesterday.
Excellent. The guild works is the best work.
Yes. By the way, I'm so sorry for lapsed introductions. I'm Adelaide Oleander, and I'm gonna formally bow.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Miss Oleander.
Brock. I just.
She frowns at that. Just Brock. I see.
Yeah.
DM.
Pleasure to meet you, Miss M.
Colton Reeves.
Mr. Reeves. Well, my name is Gilda Dune, and she invites you to sit down. As she sits down.
The tortured squeak of the chair.
She sits down. My name is Gilda Dune. I was the major domo, or manager, for the White Stag for the previous two owners, Mr. Froome,
Yes.
and then, for a brief period of time, a local Lord Ernelview, who, as you may know, was disgraced and run out of town. Under Mr. Froome, I ran a tight ship. The location was well stocked, the people who worked here were happy, and the bar was clean, and there were very few fights. I have a list of references, and she kind of pulls out a portfolio, or she kind of reaches into a satchel and pulls out a portfolio and hands it over. There's a very nicely organized list of references, including letters of recommendation. One seems to be from her church.
What church?
She is with the faith of the Lawbringer, I believe. Hold on here. That's not what we call them. It is the Dol Ora.
Yeah.
Dol Ora. Dol Dorn is the god of battle. Dol Ora is the god of like laws and stuff. No, Orion. No, she's with Church of Orion. Because Orion is
Arion's the magic guy, isn't he?
but also set forth the laws.
Is it also laws?
Yeah, he's actually kind of the head of the pantheon. Arion is, and set forth the laws of Cordair.
You said
As we
Arion?
know, Arion. He's like a god of he is seen by some to be like a god of bureaucracy, as well, and order.
Makes a lot of sense for me.
And judging by the way that she seems to carry herself, this seems to immediately play. Yes. Now, I have along with those list of recommendations, I also have she takes the sheet out of her portfolio and steps forward. I have a plan to get you up and running within the next two by the race of the 8 winds, which I firmly believe you should be opened up by if you want to make any business. Otherwise, you might as well wait until next year.
That's exactly our plan. We would like to.
Excellent. Now, a staff in a place of this size, and you will be utilizing the upstairs as, I assume, personal dwellings?
Yes.
I see. And just the 4 of you, correct?
3 children,
Yes.
possibly.
And which of you 2 are married?
They
They are orphans that we're taking in.
sort of wards.
I see. And this is, you of course have the paperwork for such things?
It's more we found them recently living in the abandoned building and have offered them a place to stay if they need it.
I see. Will you be also providing them with tutors?
If that is something that...
Or should they be enrolled in a public school of sorts? Children should not be running around wild and rampant.
We've only recently met them and haven't yet had the conversation about the best next course of action.
Are you opening up a bar and then also planning on adopting 3 children? These are 2 very separate but full-time jobs that you are attempting to take on.
We just simply want them to have a place to stay, knowing the situation.
And a bar is where you have chosen.
We're living up there. It's the best that we have.
I see. Well, far be it from me to tell you how to do things, but if you wish for me to run this household, I assume that would also include making sure that the children are well taken care of.
Yes, if that is able to be.
Then tutors will have to be procured.
Okay.
Now, children need an education. Education will get them much further than no education would. So, I can assume that we would be in agreement with that.
Whatever's good for them.
Yes. Whether it's tutors or public school, we haven't really figured that out. But education, of course.
Fine homeschooling can get them a chance to get significantly further ahead. Public school is fine, but I have my own opinions. Now, a staff of this, and she slides this piece of paper forward. A staff, I had laid out what I believe would be a proper amount of staff for when the White Stag previously ran at tip-top shape. This includes 4 bartenders, 2 dish cleaners, 2 housekeepers for the upstairs, myself as a manager, and 5 wait staff.
I'm sorry, you said 4 bartenders, 2 cleaners.
It's all listed out here in the sheet. Yeah.
Okay.
Now, I will of course be in charge. Would be of course in charge of making sure that they get paid, that they're here on time, the hiring and the firing situation, basic management such to keep this out of your hair. Now, we would of course have to. Of course, judging by this place, I probably should have allotted for basic maintenance, but I'm certain we can speak with someone with house cannons to see about getting the various maintenance work that may need to be done put together.
We were actually thinking about hiring Braun.
McGurdy.
Ron McGurdy.
Seems like a good job.
He's
He's a handyman, local.
living in the neighborhood.
Get along good
Came
with the
highly
kids.
recommended.
Can you clean dishes?
Why, he can fix daily maintenance items.
Can certainly see about adjusting the staff for such things. Flexibility is possible. This is just what I would recommend as the base level, based on what the previous with the previous projection or the previous amount of money that this was able to take care of. It's there's a lot of math in it. I'm not as good at saying this as she would be, but
Yeah.
We take her at her word. She knows what
yeah,
she's doing.
she seems to know fairly well on
Yeah.
what she's doing. I will not be staying on the residence, though I do maintain my own residence, so I would not require any sort of room. This will also keep your costs down. Now, Let's see. I do request that I have one day a week off so that I may attend to my own personal affairs as well as attend my religious services. Otherwise, you will have me for 6 days a week, which is fairly standard for most management within these areas. Unless if you wish to hire an assistant manager, but I do not believe that you would have the funds to do so until at least a year or two of operating. Based off of the previous operations, the income, based on and she sees all these piles of paperwork, I see that you're looking through what sort of packages to get. I have my own recommendations I would make based on what people are used to from the White Stag. The income for the first year I have projected at somewhere around 30 gold pieces or so per week as profits at first. These would, of course, rise significantly higher over time, but that's a conservative estimate to ensure that funds are put aside to ensure that in the case of problems, that they'd be handled. Mm-hmm. I assume you can see the wisdom in this.
Yes.
Now, you all have different vocations outside of
Adventurous.
Yeah.
Yes.
Adventures. Oh, well, then money should not be a problem for you, and I assume that you won't be particularly around a lot of the time anyway. Excellent. We'll want to make sure that the people that we do have, the staff that we do, I will obviously be personally. I would obviously offer to She wants to personally interview all of them, and she kind of goes over that. Basically, the impression that you get as she goes on is that she seems to have the books. She seems to have a really good grasp of the numbers, exactly what this place needs to operate, and she takes a very direct involvement. She's put a lot of effort and thought into very minute details, and she is a very conservative, in terms of fiscally conservative manager. She does not like to. She does what she can with the bare minimum, but based on what she has for the staff projections, nobody is being underpaid. And from what you can see, it's living wages. She says living wages. It's the best way to retain good employees. Employees that are not paid living wages tend to leave for better opportunity, and what you want to create is not only the best opportunity for your patrons, but the best opportunity for employment that you can.
Well, Mrs. Jones, just meeting you here now, I feel you know exactly what you're doing, and I feel confident in your ability to do so.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, excellent. Well, you have my references, of course. If you wish to explore your options, you can reach me by having a message sent to this address. She hands you a card, and it's a little business card that she has. If you wish to consider other opportunities, you certainly can, but I just wanted to make myself known and let you know that I am open to run the White Stag. A fine place indeed.
Out of curiosity, Ms. Dune, did you happen to work with a bartender named Liv?
Yes, I did. Liv was a fine man. Very quiet, but a very good listener. Always knew the customer's favorite drinks, had quite the mind for that.
You know what?
It was a shame when he passed away.
Oh, what happened? We've heard several people mention his name and how much they loved him. What happened to him, if I may?
Fell off a bridge.
Ooh, that's a
Bad way to go.
bad way to go.
Oh.
Speaking of, sorry, this has been bothering me. She walks up and takes the mirror and sets it right.
That was on the top list of things to do.
And she turns around, you see the mirror goes.
Yeah. Yeah. Saw that coming.
She stops. She turns around. She sets it right again.
Ma'am, we have discovered that...
One moment, please. And she's still staring at the mirror, and it just goes, eh, and she frowns.
Liv prefers it tilted.
Liv always preferred it tilted. He used to do this too. This is a strange joke. And she kind of turns all of you with a quizzical look. This is a strange joke to play on an old woman.
No. Liv is still here.
Oh yeah, by the way, she's probably in her she's upper middle age.
Liv, could you please pour Mrs. Dune a drink?
Miss Dune.
Miss Dune, I apologize. Miss Dune a drink.
Never married.
Miss Dune a drink, please.
And you see that you see a glass kind of flip over, pops down, and you see that a pitcher of water comes out and pours, and then then slides across the bar, and to which, without skipping a beat, she just goes just grabs it right before it slides off, and just You forgot the lemon leaf. And she turns around and goes, "Ah, I see Liv haunts the place.
Yes.
That is where you'll save your money on your... That is where you'll save your money for your handyman that you wish. Liv, I assume, will be one of the bartenders, and I assume he doesn't need to be paid. Is that right, Liv?"
Pulling the cards.
And you just, yes. Yeah. Excellent. Liv always cared very much for the White Stag and the people of him, so if he's going to be stuck here for however long until his business is concluded, I'm certain he would be more than happy to pour these people drinks. So,
Good.
plus, what a great way to get in new business. I may have to adjust my numbers. We'll see after the first month. Of course, that's assuming you go with it. That's assuming you decide to hire me.
I kind of look meaningful at everybody.
I do think we need to have maybe a quick group meeting, but we will very quickly get back to you.
Sounds excellent.
Yes.
Well, it's a pleasure to meet all of you, Miss M, Miss Oleander, Mr. Reeves, and Mr. Brock. Goodbye, Liv.
Mr. Brock.
Places the glass down on the bartender. On the bartender. Places it on the bartender.
We don't know where he is.
Anyway, okay.
Lying
So,
on the bar.
she goes ahead and gathers her stuff, leaves a couple of more papers with you, and kind of goes over them, but ultimately just ends up leaving.
Taking a quick look at her business card that she left, what not district, but what ward does she live in? Like, what part of town?
She lives in a district somewhere in Middle Tavik's Landing. So it's not the finest district at all, but it's decent. It's a decent area.
Yeah.
You think?
Isn't that where you're from?
He's from Middle North.
Oh,
Edge.
North,
Middle
North
North,
Edge. Oh, yes.
Okay.
I mean, I think everybody, correct me if I'm wrong, everybody's pretty pro Gilda.
She seems like she's the best pick.
Liv seems to like her. Liv, you like her?
Yes. No.
She seems like she could be a hard person to work for every now and again.
Yes.
I mean, I don't know if, given that Colton sort of extended a potential offer to
No, we're not
Froome-
hiring Froome.
No. I made a poor choice.
The no card. No.
I'm willing to admit my own mistakes and overgenerosity. No.
Right, then you can
You can
tell
go talk
him
to
that,
Froome.
then.
You go talk to
All
him.
right.
But yeah, I want to send a note to her as soon as possible.
Okay.
And get this started, because I think she has a good head on her shoulders and knows what she's doing.
Does the paperwork have an estimated sum total of operating costs, like she was mentioning, like the...
Yeah, it does a breakdown of all that.
Okay.
Base operating costs included. She even has certain numbers listed for estimated costs for liquor and such. And you see notes written beside it. Consider X package with these add-ons for like liquor and the bakery. You notice that by the butcher, for notes by the butcher's name, it says tip Justin underlined.
Yeah!
Okay.
I was right.
Tip Justin.
I said tip him really well. That was what I said to do.
Oh.
It sounds like basically she knows how to make this place make enough money that it makes profit. We don't really have to worry about what she chooses as long as we follow her. Deal.
That's,
Yeah, based on what she projects, you're looking at, that's not like you're going to make grotesque amounts of money, but you're going to run a sustainable business.
Yes.
It seems to be
That's what I
her
care
entire model is around a sustainable business model.
Like that lady.
which is great.
That's what I want.
Plus, she has like lists how she uses the Agile Scrum framework for employee meetings. And no, that doesn't make sense for a bar. No, it's not project management. Never mind.
They're all working on smaller projects.
Yeah, they're Scrum Master Left. No.
Alright. Well,
So, sounds like if we leave the place in her hands, we will have to do very little management of our own, which sounds great to me.
yes, because then we can be free.
Come and go as we please.
What do we need? So, how do we hire a runner?
What?
A runner to go tell her.
Oh,
Do we just flag one down? I've never hired one before.
Oh, you just go to station. I can do it.
Oh, okay.
So in not every district, but in many districts throughout Sharn, this would actually make sense that you may not be as familiar with this because there is not an Orion message station in Meleon's Gate.
They tried once. It didn't last very long.
Went real bad.
Yeah.
That guy's still traumatized.
Yeah. Anyway, so there are basically message stations. You drop off the message, and they'll run it to anybody in town. You can also pay to have messages sent all over the world if you wish. It's, like FedEx and a courier. Like they're basically
Pony Express.
House Orion is kind of like is the post office and FedEx and
Department of Well, not so much Department of Transportation, but
they were up until
Lyrandar got
got their hands involved. They're trains.
You feel
And
very
trains
strongly about
and
this,
caravans, whereas sea and air has been handled by Lyrandar since the dawn of time, but air has recently been taken over. Orion does have teleportation, but those prices are so far out of the reach of most people that's just not even practical.
Right.
Yeah. So anyway, all right. So
cool.
okay, great. Well, that was a lot of fun maintenance stuff.
I want to go with you when you tell Fred.
Yeah?
Yeah, just
I am going to make
Why?
sure, like,
I wanna see.
I'm taking all of the paperwork, all of
Look,
the
I'm not
brochures and
gonna make it
everything, and I am,
anything
like,
special.
very neatly organizing all of the paperwork that we have.
You just want to go because you think it'll be funny.
I think it's going to be funny, but I also think he's going to threaten to do something, and we need to have someone know that's happening.
Is that a conversation that Colton it seems like he's going to have today, or he's going to try to put off for a while?
I'm going to put it off at least for a day or two.
Sounds good. So you're going to go ahead and put off that conversation. That sounds great. Okay. Work begins on the house.
Cool.
Immediately begins with it. Like by the next morning, the House Cannith Tinkers Guild arrives, and they already begin work on the White Segmenter, trying to get it put together to your specifications. For the most part, it seems that we kind of agreed to keep the layout the same as it is for the most part right now.
Yeah.
Because that's what you're able
cost.
to. Yeah, for on costs, expansions are going to be significantly higher priced and outside of your range, I would say at this point. All the while, by the way, you are still getting your stipend from the Dark Lanterns. You are given I believe you guys are given a monthly stipend. X amount per month. I'm trying to remember how much you guys get.
The only money I remember us getting was $1,000 to put towards the.
This
was-
predates it.
This
Oh, okay.
predates. So this is the information I gave you at the beginning of the campaign, which tells you how much you actually get paid on a on a monthly basis.
I want to say it's 25, but I don't know that that's right.
Okay. We can look that. We can have somebody look that up while we kind of move on here.
Sure.
So you guys aren't just waiting for the White Stag to have any sort of income coming in. I would say it's probably about a few days into the construction and the work when during this time period also they're kind of primarily focused on getting the dwellings put together too, so that way you have a chance to move your stuff in sooner so you can keep down on costs. And I assume that you probably get a message at one point. Get numerous messages from your superior officer letting you know, move in ASAP. We can't pay for both here. Yeah, both your fancy apartments and your fancy apartments and your base of operations. Get that done first. Get in and then get the other stuff going.
Fancy.
Oh, what you do with your stipend is what you do with your stipend. He doesn't pick where you
You
live.
just keep giving it to Lloyd.
Hey, Lloyd, take this money. You need it because you're broke and also probably know a lot of gang members. And
I want to see you happy, man. I want to see you happy. Let's get you out of this gang life.
So many.
I'm not in a gang! He yells for the 15th time. Anyway, a few days into the construction, you receive a visitor. A middle-aged man with graying hair. wearing a uniform, wearing a uniform of the city guard, as well as a badge, kind of a stylized badge of the emblem of Sharn, with the word captain written at the bottom. Arrives. He has a stack of papers he's kind of carrying with him as he sort of kind of saunters through the construction and into the main bar area. He introduces himself as Jallister Silvermane. He goes, "Oh, the old White Stag's getting put together. That's good. That's very good to see. Name's Captain Silvermane, or Jallister Silvermane as most call me, with the City Watch here in the area. New adventuring group, I believe.
Yes, the White Stag Company.
White Stag Company.
Adelaide Oleander.
Pleasure to meet you.
D.
Brock.
Colton Reeves.
Wonderful. Well, we're wanted to welcome you all to the neighborhood. We are, this kind of holds up the papers. I had planned on asking if you wouldn't mind placing one of these in your, possibly on a message board if you have any types of those when you manage to get one set up. It's a wanted poster for a local criminal.
Okay.
Or for a criminal. It appears to be a robber of sorts. I don't know if you wouldn't mind putting one of those up maybe in the window or up on a message board if you get one put up, but my apologies, I didn't realize that we were a little farther from the opening day than I think we thought, so hopefully we'll have caught the guy by the time we open this up here.
Who's this guy?
Just a local thief, been stealing from a number of nobles in the district, including some very good friends of the city council, of the district council.
Well, as soon as they get the glass put in, we'll certainly put it in the window.
Is it day, like nighttime robbery, or is he like robbing people like in other persons or home invasions? Just so we're sort of aware.
Nighttime robbery, we believe. No evidence of any violence of sorts, but people waking up, finding their valuables are gone. So make sure you get those locks put on those windows here if you plan on keeping anything valuable inside of here.
Of course.
Is there a reward on the notice?
Yeah, there is a reward. Yes. If you're interested in looking for work, though, it seems
Always
like you.
interested.
Well, I've actually been looking for some help with another issue that we've been having. The counselor has also offered a reward for helping out the local Street Sweepers Guild, who's have been running into a fair amount of trouble during the night with a couple of assaults.
Oh.
A number of their members have been found. A couple of them barely managed to escape within an inch of their lives. They were attacked by an unknown assailant, and a few have gone missing. Most of the street sweepers are really afraid to even just go into work at all. So we're looking for a group of people to maybe help keep an eye on their...
Just happening in Clifftop?
On their... Yes.
Yeah.
Keep an eye on them in the night. Just kind of keep watch. We can certainly pay a wage and see if you can be able to find the culprit and bring them to justice. Well, we can certainly talk about getting a reward that's worth your time.
I figure we got a vested interest in keeping these particular streets safe now.
Yeah, we do. We can see if we can get to
definitely
the
go a
bottom
long
of
way
it.
into making. I imagine as people were wanting to open up shop in the area, it'd maybe go a long way to getting some of the locals on their side.
Also getting the Clean Sweepers Guild to come to the bar.
A lot of people who open up shop here in Clifftop tend to make it a point to impress the adventurers, to try to get their business in, but adventuring types tend to spend their money quite quickly and burn out really fast, whereas getting the locals on your side, well, I found that it helps me in my line of work to make sure that the locals are on my side. catch my meaning.
Of course.
Agree.
My meaning is get the locals on your side.
Yes.
Yeah.
When would you like us to start this?
Well, if you're interested, they go out each night. So if you head over to and he'll pull out a little flip pad, kind of start writing. He'll write down an address. So if you could be here, be at this address this evening.
Yeah.
That's where the Street Sweepers Guild meets, or where they gather their supplies before they head out to make sure the general streets of Clifftop are clean. You can make sure, basically you'll be playing guard duty. So the pay isn't much. It's the Street Sweepers Guild. They don't have much to offer. We're looking at a grand total for the work would be three gold a person per night. But with a bonus if you were able to figure out exactly what's happening. So, not the most glamorous thing, but if you're stuck in town anyway while waiting for this to be fixed up, not a bad idea. So, here, be at this address.
Yeah. It was good meeting you, sir.
Keep handing things to me.
What are you doing? Hopefully we'll see you around soon. But,
And we hope to see you here when the bar opens.
I may just do that. I enjoy getting a good drink every now and then after the shift. I don't have to drink too much, but, don't want to end up being the one on the other side of the cell bars, if you know what I mean. I mean, I don't want to go to jail, is what I'm saying.
Of course, understand, Captain Silver.
Yeah. All right. Well, pleasure to meet you all.
Pleasure to meet you.
So he is offering you a potential quest. Also, you have a wanted poster for a potential
Cat burglar.
a cat burglar running around the area.
Is it Lloyd?
It's just a picture. It's wanted approximation. Just Lloyd
His ear.
with one ear.
Damn it, Lloyd.
No, it's not Lloyd. There are more criminals.
Not
Lloyd's
according
not
to
even a
D.
criminal. Yeah, so far, Lloyd's not.
According to D, there's one criminal. His name
No.
is Lloyd,
Lloyd,
and he knows all the other criminals.
Lloyd is affable and has knowledge. He doesn't do wrong things. D will never say that.
She'll
Not-
think it.
Not to other people, but to him, she will.
Oh yeah, she's gonna be like, you gotta be on the straight and narrow, but everybody else.
Just gonna take the wanted poster down to Lloyd. You know him, right? It's another criminal.
Who is this, Lloyd?
The funny thing will be if he does.
I told you about Lloyd Mason. Lloyd's mad.
So is that something you guys actually decided to do? So
Yeah.
it's,
Yeah,
I wanna make
honestly,
this place
all
safe.
this business management stuff is probably boring Brock to tears.
Yeah, and
so
he
is delighted to have something to do.
Lucille's hungry.
Agreed.
All right. Sounds good. Okay. Well. So later that evening, you head over to a small nondescript building where a number of nighttime workers are. It's very late at night. We're talking like 2 or 3 in the morning, actually.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I guess it's really early because it's after all the bars have closed and such. When they meet to then clean, make sure the streets are all swept and such, and I'm just imagining like a team of people just sweeping drunks off into the
Time to get up.
Into
get
the
up,
gutter.
Hey buddy,
Get up. Get
get
up.
out of here, get out of here. We're working here. Come on.
They just have like woo, rack, 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 rack.
but it's just a guy.
They have their own Michael Winslow doing sirens.
Yeah, just Michael Winslow, and then the guy with the broom beside him. It's actually just a team of early 90s comedians. Late 80s, early 90s comedians. You got like Michael Winslow, and then Gallagher is walking around.
Oh god!
God. Jeez.
Yakov Smirnoff.
Oh.
Oh my god.
And Lower Dura street sweeps you!
Really? Go home!
Really, go home! Oh, this is so dumb. Anyway, and you head out, and as they head out to the streets, you begin to patrol with them effectively to play guard duty. Now there is a city watch, but at this late hour they're functioning kind of a skeleton crew, and since they are patrolling the entire district, there's always a lot going on in Clifftop. Clifftop doesn't really, it's not a red light district, I want to be clear about that. But there still are plenty of people still awake and moseying about. There's a couple of different shops and stuff that cater to more nocturnal folks and such.
This is probably the most in terms of light level, up here in the upper wards.
And still imagine it's actually really bright to you, because down in Breland's Gate, where the sun does not reach, it is always dark.
Yeah.
Right. Here,
Oh my
they have
gosh.
street lanterns lit up. It's like,
How did you even live
Well,
this long?
I just realized like Deidre's like super pale, like it matches the picture more like that I have of her in my head. Yeah, very pale. Like,
that picture of Wednesday Addams that you gave me. Saying
no, it was a red-haired lady.
I
with
know it
really
was. I know.
I imagine, you and me are both much more nocturnal creatures.
Sarah just sent me a picture of a corpse for her picture, and it's like, Sarah, we can't use this. And you're like, but it's dead, just like my character's soul. I'm like, no, that's not it.
I don't do those
I know you
characters.
don't. I know. I'm making a joke. Anyway, so the street sweepers go. They, for the most part, they tend to just kind of ignore your presence. They get into kind of as you kind of follow them through the streets and such that first night. You get the impression overall that they seem to be nervous, but they don't really like talk to you all much about what's going on. Or they don't seem to be coming forth to talk to you about much. Any of you try to engage them in any particular type of conversation? Okay, great. So go ahead and give me a persuasion check. Let's see. Go ahead and toss me a persuasion check here.
Would I be able to like try to proffer them like some sort of drink, like a flask of something? Be like, hey, you guys are out late at night. Try to loosen the lips with drink.
Sure, you can give me a persuasion bribery, which you don't have special.
Oh, yeah, which you don't have special.
I rolled crap. 13.
No one uses them. Say what?
13.
13.
16 plus. Yeah, 16.
They seem nice and polite enough, but they don't really talk to you much beyond just just various pleasantries. One of them does admit to you though that you aren't the first group to watch over them. In fact, you're just and most of the kind of she confides into you. Yeah, most of the others. Most of the others, they just the other groups, they tend to stick around for a day or two, and then they don't get what they don't. They realize they could be making the bigger bucks somewhere else, and they just ditch. So you'll forgive us if we don't try to catch your names.
I understand. I mean, we gotta prove ourselves
Plus,
first to get it.
It's not like y'all have asked our names either, right?
I'm asking now.
Oh, I know. We're old friends, Dee. At this point, she takes a drink off the flask she offered, hands it back. Just,
Well, I want to make sure you guys are okay. Has anyone told you anything about what happened to him?
no.
No?
Not the two who were who survived the scuffle. They said they were hit from behind. They couldn't move. And their team member, because we always travel in twos. Their team member was each one of them was the person they partnered up with disappeared, never to be seen again.
Damn.
Presumed dead. Scary stuff.
Yeah.
Scary stuff. So that's what you're able to find out the first night.
Okay.
The next night comes. The next day goes by. Construction continues. The night comes, and do you return for a second night as well?
Yeah, at the start of the shift, I'm going to pull us all together and say, I think we should let them know we're going to be watching, but I think we need to make our presence less known. So
Be less obvious, yeah.
Be less obvious so that maybe if they believe we're not watching, they'll do something. And we try to catch them. What do you guys think? But we let the crew know, obviously, that we haven't left about to dry.
Right, and make sure that they're all right with it, because I don't want them to feel like they're being forced into being bait. If they're uncomfortable with a hidden guard.
Yeah, that's a good point. If our goal is to keep them safe, then being a deterrent accomplishes that pretty well. But if our goal is to catch whoever's or whatever's responsible, then we would be better off tailing them at a distance.
But talk to them, yes.
I go to the person that spoke to me last time, and I let them know what our idea is and see if they were.
They shrug.
Okay.
We'll
Big
be
district,
watching.
big district, a lot of people. A lot of time, big district. We're all over the place, so I mean, most of us won't see you most of the night anyway. So wherever you think works, I suppose.
Right.
So, and it's true. Clovetop is a very large district. A lot of street sweepers, probably like dozen of them. A couple of dozen of them already out and make sure the streets are clean. So your plan is to. So let's go ahead and give a stealth check. We'll see how well you keep yourself hidden.
Okay.
Nope.
13.
12.
4.
$15.
All right. Yeah. You think you've kept yourselves pretty well out of sight, but as the night goes on, still, this and yet another night goes by. Nothing. So to keep at it.
Yeah.
Days go by. Nights go by. 3 nights, 4, 6, 8 nights go by. Over a week you dedicate to this. You trying various different ideas of trying to keep at it. But still, no assaults, no attacks, no anything. It's just quiet. The street sweepers seem to become more comfortable and start to become a little bit more relaxed as time goes on. And a few of them start to consider that maybe the threat is gone at this point. On the 9th day, you're giving a violin lesson.
Okay.
Okay, so in the morning, you're giving a violin lesson to your two students that you managed to maintain, the young noble children. Who go by the name of what are they? Gusan and Galali, two blonde-haired, blue-eyed, pale-skinned twins, a boy and a girl. Gusan and then the girl Galali, and as the two are practicing their violin, which they seem to have down pretty well as they usually do. The twins are really pretty good. You find yourself, as per usual, in conversation with their older brother, Francis, a friend of yours from school, if I'm not correct. Yes. So you and Francis. Francis is and I imagine you're probably doing this in the. You don't really have probably a violin room that's been chosen up, so you guys are probably in the main den area. So whatever you all are doing, you know that she holds violin lessons probably once a week, I'd say. Sure. And so you can hear the sounds throughout the of small children practicing violin, but surprisingly well. Actually, is kind of the odd thing is that they're surprisingly good for their age. They're not virtuosos, but. Anyway, so you're talking to Francis. Francis is about 6'2", shock of just deep red hair, a deep red hair that he keeps close cut, kind of a military cut. He is a very stiff bearing. He is and keeps himself very he's very stiff bearing. He has. Unlike the twins who have these bright blue eyes, he has these almost yellowish green eyes, and you can see that he's dressed in the uniform of a member of a prominent member of House Denieth. And so he and you are I guess having tea. Or what do you serve?
Yeah, I think it is a tea. I think it's a whole tea set that I've got out with little scones and cookies.
So the White Stag Company.
Yes, a new endeavor. Adventuring and bar ownership. It's kind of two for one.
Well, I suppose if House Orion isn't going to work for you, then you might as well cut into a little bit of what Galanta has to offer.
Yes.
I always were a decent cook, so would you be...
I
guess if you're...
Oh.
My apologies.
No. You're fine, darling. I'm probably not going to be doing the cooking. We'll hire people on to do it. I'm sort of going to be out and about with adventuring with the company, but also sort of I'm sure I'll be playing fiddle downstairs occasionally as well, and sort of flitting here and there as I do.
Using it as an opportunity to put yourself back on the stage, I see.
I mean, it never hurts.
A little bit of House Galanta, a little bit of House Bierlin.
The houses don't have a complete
monopoly, near monopoly, but not a complete.
Raises one eyebrow at
There are bars outside of Tharlian.
you. I was only
I know.
teasing.
I know.
I'm sorry.
I know. I give him like a little peck on the forehead.
Just give him a kiss on the forehead. A little kiss on the forehead.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I assume this is a usual thing.
Yes.
All right.
But yes, I mean, with the White Stag Company, I mean, recently we've been following the street sweepers here in Clifftop because they, I guess, were assaulted, but it's been nights and nights, like 8 nights of just nothing, so...
Surprised my father and his men haven't decided to take part in it.
In tailing them?
Yeah, yes. Father and the sovereign swords that he runs with, that he runs, a little vigilante group of sorts. It's unbecoming of a Dinnick member, but he is my father and the lord of the manor, and I wouldn't say anything, but between you and I think it's a little bit unbecoming of the House Dinnick member to take part in extra house activities such as going around stopping evil and such. Not that it's not great for you, but it's sorry, I'm not making a lot of sense. It's my head's somewhere else today.
Francis, it's fine. You can always talk to me. No judgment.
The Dinnick's mission, our house, is we are a neutral party. That is what has kept us relevant throughout the entire course. The Corvair's existence, even before the fall of the Five Nations, or before the creation of the Five Nations, or the fall of Galafor, and ever since Father had his religious awakening, and he decided he needed to do more, and that's great. I can understand the desire to do more, but there are ways and protocols that we operate in, and every day that man just seems to step further and further from pretty much everything he taught us as children. It's not bad work, it's good work, and it's,
Do you think it's because he feels that the work that he and his sovereign swords are doing is something that House Dinnick can't do?
Yes, probably, and I think also a little bit has to do with his own guilt.
Guilt.
He blames himself for Mother's death.
Oh.
He of course remarried, and he kind of gestures to the two younger siblings. He goes, "We married and had 2 beautiful children who I love very much, but his wife, very very religious woman, and it's changed him. I don't know. I shouldn't be discussing this with you. It's just when a man believes that he has done so much wrong that the only salvation can be found within the divine, that can be a great thing, but it can also not be so much. It's not that it's nothing bad. It's just you can't talk to the guy without him having to bring up. You can't talk business with the guy without him having to bring up some sort of scripture.
Right.
Which is very difficult to do when discussing house business.
Oh, of course.
Right. Yes.
I mean, has he been with his sovereign swords for long? They've been doing a lot, so just...
They sort of formed towards the end of the last war. It's, technically speaking, it's unofficially a part of House Dinnick. They are, if you're to believe what they have to say, they seek out the evils that plague man, and they got fed up and decided to do something about it, right? Doing the good work and such, but the problem is that because he's functioning outside of the boundaries of the law, this is causing the house problems in Sharn. Which, if this is causing problems for the house, then this causes problems for myself and for the men and women that I work with. And it's his heart's in the right place, but I don't know what I'm saying. I don't know. I can't get I can't fully articulate how I feel about this. I feel like I'm saying, I don't want my dad to do the right thing, but is the right thing always about good and evil? What about the right thing for the other responsibilities that he has? The people that rely on him. This has led to losses in contracts. House Thraska's gaining headway as they have since towards the end of the last war, and they're gaining headway and getting more and more contracts because, they're undercutting our prices. And the fact that we start showing up in the newspaper with the word vigilante, beside our names, Dinieth Vigilante, that's not what you want to see in the papers at all, right? That's like seeing Fairleon and Stag Show. I don't know. Stag shows are still a thing, right?
I think they're out of fashion.
Oh, that's good. Gross. Not for me. Anyway.
I'm sorry that you have this weight that you're having to bear.
It's just the more and more time he puts towards his little pet project, the more and more that puts on me to answer questions that I'm not fully ready to answer yet. And of course, my older brothers, all four, following in Dad's footsteps, but Sadral has always been like that. So
is he also part of the?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes, of course he is. He's the golden child. I thought that I was doing the right thing by sticking head in business, but things change, I suppose. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say here. So.
Is there? I hate to see you torn like this and upset. Is there anything I can do, Francis?
Just keep making sure these kids know how to play music. The more they learn, the more that my stepmom seems to be all right with spending time with me as long as they're learning something. Because I'm not officially part of the faith, she gets a little iffy on who spends time with the children and such outside of the faith. So
yes.
that's fine. It is what it is. But at that note, that they children actually put down their violins, or shouldn't put their violins away. Like, even without being told, they just seem to know when it's time. They're both like at the same exact time, like placing their violins in, closing up. Like they seem to be fully autonomous with this. Because I guess it's over. Look, I'm sorry I rambled so much. Adelaide, it was really good to see you.
Of course.
Yeah. Maybe at some point I'll meet your new companions.
Oh yes.
At some point.
Yes, I'm not sure where they are, but they have their own business, I'm sure.
Nice place.
Yes, it's our hope is to be open for the race of the 8 winds. That's the sort of deadline.
Oh.
So.
Well.
I hope once we're open, you will come, right?
Oh, of course.
Great.
Of course.
You'll have to hear me play.
I always loved hearing you play before, so I'm sure I'll still love it now. You play that one song that you did, the one that you wrote about our professor with the hair lip?
Oh yes. It was sort of a limerick. That's.
How did that go again?
I don't want the children to hear.
That makes sense. And he'll shut up. The children will come and they will bow to you very formally, as they always do.
Yes, I bow in return formally.
And they both just say, they both say thank you, very formally. And Ghassan will even put out his hand and shake it, and you just see Francis just sort of nod in approval, like. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, Galali just gives a hug, and Francis kind of shrugs at that one.
Yeah.
Yes, we'll get there. And then he'll usher the children out.
All right.
All right. Later on that evening, the 9th night. You guys are you still sticking with it? It's been 8 days. Are you still sticking with the same tactic of try to stay kind of off the streets and are out of sight and such?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Great, wonderful.
Sorry, I had an idea. It's a little off script. What if I went in disguise as a sweep?
That would work.
All right.
They could try to take you, and then we would be in a better position.
All right, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna try and disguise myself as a sweep that sort of maybe has lost her partner and try and make myself a trap.
Yeah.
Sounds great. He's rolling one stealth checks, but from you, you're gonna roll disguise. Disguise kit check. Disguise kit charisma. So proficiency. Are you proficient with disguise? Yep. So charisma. I need miniatures.
God damn it.
I have mine out in front of me.
I think I left mine here.
I'd like to re-roll my stealth.
Do you have one?
Yeah, you made it for me.
Oh, I did. I forgot I made you one.
Yeah.
Yeah, before I stopped making miniatures because my stupid printer broke.
My really awesome miniature.
Colin, you've been using my big old bugbear.
That's the one.
I don't know what Cassie uses.
I've got an unpainted.
Bugbear.
Is there a certain place you want us to be since we're out of sight?
Towards that
I re-rolled my stealth. You're gonna like the result.
Oh, am I? Am I gonna be so happy? Maybe is it a 1?
No,
Oh, then why would I care?
it's still bad.
Okay. So where is? Okay. So you guys are trying to stay out of sight.
Okay.
So we're gonna go ahead and
Kind of like off
put
to the
you.
side. Yeah.
Kind of maybe around this corner, back around this corner here, kind of staying out to sight here. Yeah, go ahead and place yourselves in actually here. Go ahead and place yourselves wherever you want on the map, but somewhere that looks like it may be somewhere hidden.
I think that's
Is that Adelaide over there?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Adelaide, I'm going to put you more towards the middle because you're working with this street sweeper here because they always go in pairs.
That would be out of sight.
actually out of sight. If they're there, out of sight would be.
Sure. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, you placed stuff on the roof.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds wonderful. All right.
Rock will be. Well, that's
Blending in with the masonry, my natural environment.
He's tall enough to just look over the
No.
hill. Just see Brock's eyes.
Did you want my
Do you want
disguise
me
check?
back here with the...
19.
I'm allowed.
And also, I am going to
There's also
change
this
my
lip right
art
here
focus
that's even
since I don't want
that you
to
can
carry
do
around
around
my
the
violin
corner
right now, so
colder.
it's going to be my move.
What is your stealth check?
Total of 7.
20.
14.
Wow, okay, so, sounds good. So, the ninth night is different. As you are, following along, and you're not just following this pair around. You guys have been kind of ranging around, but never so often meeting together and such. Branch out, come back, I imagine. Why don't you guys all just stick with the same two street troopers the entire time? Just go, why does anybody have to be these two particular people?
Right.
Right, Yeah, that'll do. Anybody have a passive perception of 10 or less?
Or less.
10 or
I
less.
think mine is 10.
Okay. All right. So the three of you, as you are sort of watching, and there's light here because it's a lit enough district, so it's like kind of overall we're gonna say like dim lighting all around.
Okay.
So you note that as you see these two street sweepers have just are kind of just moving along the street, kind of like sweeping up trash over into the off the streets and to the curb and such to gather and be collected. You see something slithering out of a nearby sewer grate. This thing it's large. It's very large, like dark shape, sort of like oozing out of the sewers there. And as it appears, it is this large slug-like creature, kind of fitting through an opening about this big, but this thing is about the size of a horse and just sort of like squeezes through. You see a trail of slime behind it. You see that it moves forward by these like centipede-like legs that protrude from its slug-like body. You see that as it opens its mouth, and it's kind of like it kind of rears up, right? And like its mouth, and then it's like where its throat should be sort of opens up, and you see spilling out are these slime-drenched tentacles.
This just gets fucking worse.
And its eyes, which are on these little stalks, sort of look around and sort of beeline, are sort of focused on the backs of these two streets. Well, the street sweeper and Adelaide, and this creature, this undulating creature, seems to be beelining it right for them. This guy is just staring in horror as you fall through and die. No, this guy is staring in horror. Your stealth checks have beat its passive perception. So I'm going to go and roll its initiative, and then we're going to go into what happens when you try to interact with this creature. It gets a 7. So let's go and roll off. I got a 10.
16.
16. You are first. So Deirdre will be the first to act. Deirdre, this large slug-like creature on centipede legs with these glistening tendrils has just sort of slinked out of the sewers there, is making and is like one eye is on these creatures, but one eye is another eye is kind of like bearing down on this poor passerby who just happened to be right there as this thing sort of emerged from the sewer grate. This thing sort of rears up, and it's a full 2 feet taller than him, even while still half his body on the ground, like it rears up there, it's like towering over this man. What do you do? You're up on that roof right across the street. What do you do?
I'm from hidden, so this would give me sneak attack, right?
That is correct.
Okay. So she basically sees this, kind of pulls out her short bow, aiming at it, and then lets one go at the creature.
Actually, don't roll me an attack roll.
That's going to be blah 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 14. A 14?
A 14. That is going to hit on a class of 13.
13. So
Okay, so your arrow shoots out, or arrow or crossbow bolt.
it's an arrow.
Your arrow shoots out and sticks into its large slug-like body.
8 damage.
8 points of damage.
And then
With that, the area sort of like quivers like jelly.
And then as I do that for my movement, and I don't know if you all will allow this, I want to like surf down the tiles and jump to the ground.
Sure, give me an acrobatics check. Let's see how successfully you do this. This is going to be a slide for about 15 feet and then a straight up 10-foot drop to the ground. So this is going to be an acrobatics check. Let's see if you can do this.
18.
18. Okay. You are going to go ahead. You will you when you land there, you instead of this is a kind of a controlled fall, so you're going to take, as you land in your 3-point line, you take a point of damage from the stress,
Okay.
and you land in kind of a 3-point landing, which is effectively the prone position.
Okay, so I am prone.
Sort of like you're in that 3-point landing. There.
Okay, I'm
Superhero
like,
landing.
okay, got it.
Right, superhero pose, right?
But for movement's sake, my next turn I have to stand up.
Yes, you have to get up and sort of get to your feet. But yeah, so you but you basically with that acrobatics you managed to have the damage you would have the dice that you would have taken for the fall, and you got down there significantly faster than if you had tried to climb down. So slide down as an arrow shoots out. Before it sort of like arches back with it. And Colton, that is your chance to act. What do you do?
Seeing her do this, I notice her very cool fall. I will 5, 10, 15, 20, try to get as many of these innocent people out of my line of sight. Weapon up, and I'm going to bonus action Hex on it. No save. Strength. Disadvantage on strength checks.
Okay, strength checks. All right, so what does this hex look like for him?
It's the hand with the weapon. A runic symbol kind of appears, and it burns into its flesh. No. And take a shot with an Eldritch Blast. Well above 13 to hit for a total of 12 damage. 6 of it necrotic, 6 of it force.
Ooh.
Oh, wow, yeah, you hit that thing and the entire body just ripples from the force of that blow, leaving a horrible scorch mark. I like to mention that it shoots right to, like the shot just aims right for where that rune is, like it's almost like a
bullseye, yeah.
like a bullseye, right, or a lodestone, like pulling that right in. It gives out a horrific screech, opening up Brock.
All right, so Brock is going to sort of rush out from behind this corner that he had been hiding behind here, and he is going to, let's call this what?
So it's about 30 feet to get to him.
Okay.
If you want to get to him.
He is actually trying to get to this guy here and like trying to basically pull him away from this.
Yeah,
thing.
there's a elven man just sort of standing right there going, ah, 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 ah!
He's going to basically try to like Move if you want to live.
Come with me if you want to
Yeah,
live.
exactly. He's gonna pull him out of the way, and actually he will use. Here's what I'll do. He will use the striding swings maneuver to basically take the attack action to grab this guy and pull him out of the way. But as part of that attack action, he can also move 15 feet, and the movement can be through other creature spaces.
Sounds good. So basically you get a shove on this guy,
Yeah.
effectively. So cool, so you use that attack for a shove. So sounds good. So okay, so you'll I'll have you kind of shove him back out of the way.
Step in there, yeah.
Actually, so you basically kind of throw him out of the push him out of the way and step into his position. What weapon do you have at the ready?
Nothing yet.
Nothing yet, just bare fist, like let's do this.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
And then he is actually going to try to make eye contact with one of those many eyes swiveling around.
This glistening like yellow eye. It's almost like the color and shape of a rotten egg. Just sort of like looks unblinking at you. These tentacles just are sort of like undulating wildly.
Yeah, and he's going to just glare directly into that eye and say, "You should have stayed in the hole you crawled out of." He's going to use a bonus action to use his other combat maneuver, which is Imposing Glare. It needs to make a charisma saving throw or be frightened of me until the end of my next turn.
Your very aggressive actions do not seem to have very much effect on this creature, as it gets a 20.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess it doesn't speak common.
Do you know who I am?
In perfect gnomish, he says, "You shouldn't have come out." So, no, he doesn't say anything gnomish.
But Lucille it is. And he'll pull out Lucille.
Sounds good. We're going to go ahead and go back to the top of the round. That's surprise round over. Adelaide, at this point, you're now aware of what's happening. You turn around, you can see that things are erupting. This huge creature, probably about 10 feet long, tip to tail, is kind of towering now over Brock, it seems. Deirdre, you've just landed in a superhero 3-point landing on your feet. You no longer have the element of surprise. What do you do?
I'm going to. She's still with the short bow in her one hand. She's going to pull out her.
Actually, hold on. My apologies. I have to do something. I'm so sorry to take this back. It was a part of the surprise round too.
Oh, yeah.
Because because you were the only one who wasn't, because you're the only one who didn't see.
Yeah.
So it actually does get an action, and it's going to turn on you.
Hey.
So it the tentacles sort of rise out there, and it's going to go ahead and start slapping at you with these tentacles.
Slap me.
So reaches out these tentacles here. That's going to be a 27 versus your
Oh, yeah.
class. You are going to take damage.
No, not that.
Not that. You take 3 points of poison damage. I need a Constitution saving throw from you.
Okay.
You remember the story that she had mentioned that they had been hit from behind and found that they couldn't move, and when they could again, they moved. So you need to make a Constitution saving throw to avoid this effect.
21.
21. Okay, you manage to. You feel a numbness where the tentacles hit you, but you seem to maintain your physical faculties. As the tentacles are coming at you, kind of swarming over you, you see in between them all, there's this sort of like vertical mouth filled with teeth, just gnashing at you. It's going to go and make a bite attack against you here, and that's going to be only an 11 versus your armor class. All right, now Deirdre, this thing is trying to bear down on Brock.
Yeah.
Now it is your turn to act. My apologies.
No, that's fine. She's gonna move.
Stand up.
Stand up, so 15 feet. 5, 10, 15. Getting out of the way of the civilian, yelling, Adelaide. A behind you.
Hey.
And she's going to actually let off another short bow attack.
Sounds good.
Because he is adjacent, I have sneak attack. Right, that's still the same as it. Okay, cool.
But no, you don't have advantage.
I don't have advantage. So it's a 14.
That's
plus,
a hit. Armor class of 13.
I get 5, 7, 10. Ooh, 10, 16 damage.
Oh wow! Wow, this thing is bleeding profusely all over the ground. This sort of like milky white liquid is like falling from its body. Probably its blood just kind of spilling out on the ground.
Is it an action to know if I've seen this before or know anything about the creature?
You can just make you make a knowledge check multiple games a week. It's always a free action.
Okay.
So
I
go
haven't
ahead
seen
and roll
things like this
go
before.
and roll a knowledge of Arcana check for monstrosities.
17.
This is a carrion crawler. It digs into the ceilings, often found in caverns and sometimes sewers of larger cities. These creatures tend to feast upon dead flesh, but if food is scarce, will go after the living.
Okay.
You know that its tentacles can cause paralysis, which is typically how it's able to drag away its victims.
Okay. And that is all I can do.
Excellent. We're going to go to Colton.
Second verse, same as the first. It's clearly very wounded. I'm going to go ahead and see if I can try to finish it off. I scream out, get away from that thing, and go for the attack. 14 on the dice for, oh my gosh, 11 force, 3 necrotic. So 14 total.
14 damage, all right. You bore a hole through part of its body. It's now, it lets out a shrill, horrifying screech that kind of echoes throughout the district. At this part, people are now screaming and starting to run.
Mm-hmm.
And this creature is thrashing now all over the place. Its blood is like getting all, like this milky white blood is kind of getting all over you and the area around it, and it's thrashing and screeching. Anything else, Brock, or anything else, Colton?
Nope, that'll be me.
Brock, comes to you.
Brock is gonna shout out to Colton, "No can do, friend," and yeah, ready to swing with Lucille.
Excellent.
Yay, D12s, yay. Love this character. That's probably not gonna hit with an 11.
That is a miss, actually.
Bummer. No. But that does upset him to the point that he will rage
Oh, nice.
as a bonus action.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent. Adelaide, it comes to you. You are currently in the garb of a street sweeper, which means you probably don't have your armor on.
I don't wear armor.
Yes, that's right. You guys don't wear armor. So, all right. So you're in your street sweeper's garb.
Yeah, I'm gonna, as I spin around, I want to kind of, if I can, sort of,
Push her out of the way with your action.
is that an action?
To push somebody out to push somebody else out of the way, yes.
Okay.
And I did see that you moved her miniature backwards. So is that what you do?
No, sorry, I was trying to move myself forward, or spin myself around. Well, but if you want, fine.
No, I'm asking you, what are you doing?
I'll push her back.
Okay, so you kind of grab her and kind of push her back a bit. That's with your action.
And then
Your street sweeper partner, you see her her broom kind of clatters to the ground there, and she sort of looks wide-eyed. What is that?
I'm gonna see if
How's working now?
I think that's like a 10, so I don't know that I know anything. Yeah, it's a 10.
Shrug.
A monster? And then I will look to Brock and say, "Go for its eyes! You've got this!" And I'll give you Bardic Inspiration for a bonus.
Yeah.
And that's...
The eyes, of course. Why didn't I think that?
that's my turn.
Move it, Chowderhead.
What?
He's like poke him in the eyes like Three Stooges.
Yeah.
All right, sounds good. This creature is going to rear up and try to attack again.
Okay.
It's going to. It's trying to slather its tentacles all over you in a desperate attempt to at least get some sort of meal before it gets out of here. That's going to be another 27 versus your armor class.
Oh, damn.
That's going to be 6 points of poison damage this time.
Poison.
Constitution saving throw if you don't mind.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure if you need it, you can use your Bardic on that.
Yes. And I can choose to use that after I roll,
But before you tell him.
and that's the result. Okay. I don't think I need to with another 21.
You did manage to avoid the paralysis, but it's still bearing in for a bite. This time, it gets a 22.
Mm-hmm.
to hit. I'm going to spend a coin to
Oh,
maximize one of those damage. Actually, hold on. First I need to roll, and then I need to see if I have to maximize on the damage dice. My apologies. Oh, yeah, I'm going to maximize because I rolled. So that's going to be a total of 10 points of piercing damage.
He will cut that in half, but that is still definitely going to leave a mark.
So this time he like tears bloody run into your flesh. Are you bloodied at this point?
Oh, yeah.
All right, yeah. So this part, you're now bleeding profusely alongside this creature as it's trying to grab onto you. You can see that it's the tail, it's kind of tail end is sort of like slinking back towards the sewer entrance, like it's trying to
drag me.
leave,
Yeah.
but still trying to take you with it. Deirdre, you see an opportunity to act. What do?
I'm going to 5, 10, 15, 20, getting more directly in front of it. I'm going to try to attack it again.
Sure.
With same bow. Okay. I'm gonna use a coin now. If you can get that back to Will.
Give me that coin. Give me.
Ooh, that's 20!
That 20! All right.
Yeah!
66s.
Say what?
66s.
Jeez.
So I got a 6.
Oh my god.
Oh, a 1 plus 2, so 9. 14. Do we just double the die or keep rolling? I'm sorry.
You roll 66.
Okay. 14, 20, 21, 22.
22 points of damage? Wow, okay.
Dang.
This thing is now struggling to keep its body even lifted up. It's a number as the arrow shoots, a number of its little centipede legs sort of curl up. And it seems to be favoring its left side over its right, where you've shot it multiple times now. At this point, this thing is sort of shrinking back away from you. It seems to have lost. It seems that perhaps it's lost most of the will to fight for today.
And then I'm going to use my dash action to get adjacent
Sounds good.
with it. Am I able to pull? I'm going to pull out my
Stabby stabber.
dagger.
Sounds good. We're going to Colton.
Things on the back foot. I do not want this thing getting away and risking hurting other people. He's going to take a step forward and just take one more careful aimed shot. And I'm going to spend a die to re-roll that 10 total.
Yes, give me these coins.
Yes.
Good.
Nat 20.
That's 2 conversions.
All right, before you even roll, just why don't you go ahead and just tell me, how does this thing die?
So, like you said, the mark is kind of an inadvertent, bullseye target, and there's just kind of a stronger than normal surge of that energy down his arm, and the kick from the shot is so much bigger than normal, and it just, and there's a moment it hits, and then, and just Ecor stuff just bursts
out the back of it, splatters across the street behind it. It's like a white paint can was just thrown down onto the ground. And this thing just sort of, and the tentacles and its whole body just sort of falls limp, and it just sort of rolls with a wet thud onto the ground.
You alright?
Woo! Yeah. Ow.
Yeah, let's get you some medical aid.
He'll look back to the elf that he threw out of the way and see. Has he vacated the scene at this point?
He stepped back a bit, it's like he tried to run a little bit, but then sort of stopped and was watching in awe as you guys just descended upon this thing just to destroy it. And the street trooper sort of kind of walks up. A woman by the name of Hannah, and Hannah walks up and she's walking up to toward catching up to you there. She kind of goes, "Is it over?"
I mean, I believe so with this creature.
Brock's gonna kick it a couple times to ensure that it's dead.
You think this is what's been attacking our fellow people?
I mean, it fits, and then I relay what I know about carrion crawlers. Paralytic, stealing to eat people, not being seen again.
Yeah, when it was getting its mitts on me, I could definitely start feeling a little bit numb. So that tracks.
You all took him out of that situation so well. Look at that. Oh, I was afraid for my life. I guess I shouldn't have been.
We said we'd protect you.
Yeah, I
So
mean,
we do.
I would still stay on guard. We don't know if this is 100%, but we got something that was trying to hurt you guys.
And now we know what was causing it. We might have an idea of how to keep it from happening.
Yeah. a few people who kind of witnessed this happen. A few of them got some cheers and some hoorays that the monster has been defeated. You have a very concerned look on your face. But so I'm sorry, Hannah will look at you and say, "Yeah, a concerned look on your face. What's going on?"
I'm just wondering, do you know, in your knowledge of these beasts, do they tend to be sort of loner creatures?
To be honest, it's not something I know. I know that their attack, the way they eat, seems to fit the description of what happened.
Right.
So, but there's not only one.
Well, you already said you don't know. So why don't the two of you give me Arcana checks here?
John.
11.
Okay. Yeah, you're not sure. So. All right. Well, so as the creatures that the watch comes eventually to get statements from everyone involved, and sort of get ready to get a more better equipped cleanup crew to deal with the paralytic agents of the paralytic portions of this dead foul creature. And they take statements from you and such. And the rest of the night is pretty much absorbed by that. You arrive back home in the as the sun is coming up, and manage to get a little bit of rest before you are eventually visited by Jallister Silvermane, who brings with him several a purse here of that you can see is heavily laden with coin. As you go through your pleasantries and you sit down at the table inside the currently being constructed, and he will place the bag of coin on the table and he says, "Fine job. Based on all the reports and what we found on the creature, and we had a member of Vidalis take the creature apart to see what could be determined from its digestive tract. Fairly disgusting whole ordeal. Glad that's not my job necessarily, but it's determined that this creature is probably responsible for what's been happening, and seems to match up with some of the descriptions of the crime scenes that we've seen before where the others were attacked. So, I just want to say, great work. You seem very concerned. Is everything okay? Okay, you said this very concerned look on your face. Well, I just want to say, great job. Well, with the three, as agreed upon, 3 gold pieces a night for each night. That was 9 nights that you gave. It's going to be a total of 18 gold pieces apiece, which I've already accounted for in here, with a 10 gold piece bonus for each of you for taking down the creature.
Absolutely.
So,
Can't have something like that running about the streets hitting people.
no, and I will say also that the Street Sweepers Guild has been giving the counselor quite a bit of grief for this situation. So I will be sure to personally let the Counselor Halvarock know that the White Stag Company was on the case.
Happy to help the community.
Well, good. Well, hopefully perhaps we'll be back to you with more in the future. You wouldn't mind if we called upon you in the future.
Yes.
Cool.
And are you still looking for the wanted? The person in the wanted sign?
We are, yes. Yeah, still hasn't been found. A number of other higher profile thefts for the past couple of days. Real confounding stuff. They've been calling the culprit, and you can see that he kind of pulls out that wanted poster, which I guess you probably didn't leave one here because you guys weren't open, so what was the point, right?
Yeah.
I imagine so. Kind of pulls out, and you can see wanted alive for the crime of theft. And you see that it's just a shadowy black hooded figure. Like there's no actual person.
Yeah.
It's just a black hooded person on a rooftop.
Ne'er-do-well.jpg.
It says
Nightblade.
it says the Black Viper. So, the Black Viper's still out there. confound it. We've had a number of interested opportunists, each claiming that they've managed to get some details on the criminal, but nothing that's really stuck thus far. So, but if you're interested, well, certainly something you could look into.
Yeah, you might do that.
Anyway, White Stag Company, thank you for your service.
Captain.
We'll be in touch.
Thank you so much.
And Captain Silvermane will head out. And so you each get 28 gold.
Aye. No good deed goes
break.
on.
Yeah. Sure. Take your break. So, after Silvermane leaves, you all go about your business as construction. And Colton, you are, find yourself at some point in the main tavern room of the White Stag, kind of watching. You're trying to kind of watch everyone and make sure that things are be available to answer questions while others are running errands. And in through the front door, kind of moving past the construction workers, you see the familiar face and ever pleasant smile of Emic Frim, who has he's dressed in a kind of threadbare like suit.
Mm-hmm.
He's got his hair slicked back with some sort of mousse.
Mm-hmm.
He's like run a comb through his beard, and he's like maybe pressed down his eyebrows with a little bit of the old spit and touch.
Oh no!
And as he walks in, he goes, just the man I wanted to see.
Mr. Froon.
Yeah. He walks in and he's got this portfolio with like a bunch of papers like sticking out of it, and he just kind of plops it down and he goes, this right here is my plan to get the White Stag back up to the former glory it was. He sits down and goes, I know we talked a bit previously about the management position. I've been trying to stay nice and quiet, give you the time to settle in, but I'm a man who goes after what he wants. I'm sorry, I forget names.
Colton.
Mr. Colton. Mr. Colton. All right, Mr. Colton. Well, here's got a list of references and some good ideas to get this place back on track.
Yeah.
So, what are we thinking the position pays? You thinking?
Oh boy, mate. So, Mr. Froon.
Call me Emic.
Emic. I'm gonna kind of slide the portfolio over. I'm a man of few words, and I don't like saying more than I have to.
Me neither. You and I got that in common.
So, I regret to inform you the position has already been filled. I apologize.
What do you mean it's been filled? I don't.
Well, someone else offered their services, and they had a very, very good portfolio.
I haven't even seen my portfolio.
No, but I'm not gonna lie, mate. We really like this person.
You don't even know me. Maybe you like me.
Mate, you lost the bar in a gambling match.
Who told you that?
Everybody.
Now things can happen.
I'm not saying they can't. And look, I'm not saying you're not a good man, but you're
not good enough to hire or tell me that you filled the position, even though I work right across the street. Not a good enough man to show that kind of respect to, right?
Well,
Is that what you're saying?
Things have been a bit busy.
Things have been a bit busy.
Adventure in life takes its toll. And I apologize, but it's also not just my say. I have 3 cohorts, and it was a group decision, so...
Not even... Alright, so who spoke out in my favor?
No, I tried to put in a good word for you. But unfortunately, 1 voice versus 3, not the best.
No, this is Will asking.
Yes.
You didn't.
No, not at all. No.
This is what we call a lie.
This is what we call
We're trying
a
to
deception.
Save, we're trying to save face here.
I'm going to spend a coin to re-roll. You're assuming you're probably going to, too.
Me too.
Yep. We'll just do the thing. But, Will, the ritual. Come on. Deception is charisma, correct? Mm-hmm. 9.
So they just made you there, Patsy. Made you be the one to tell. Oh, yeah?
I'm the one that offered the position. It only seemed right that I be the one to break the news.
Who'd you give it to?
Uh,
You seem to think I'd be working across the street from them.
I believe she was a previous manager of the White Stag. Name kind of slips me. I'm horrible with names, but real business type, real no nonsense kind of lady.
Dune.
Ah, yeah, Dune, Gilda Dune. That was the name.
Gilda Dune.
Yeah. She was the previous manager. Seems like she ran a tight ship, and her business experience came in handy.
He says as he kind of gets up and he grabs the portfolio. Yeah, tight ship when things didn't go missing. Fine. Whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, good luck to you then.
And to you, Mr. Froome.
Yeah. Walks out and sort of just pauses at the doorway for a second, just, like he's gonna say something else, but then he just like kind of just ducks his head and then just like pushes out and just like slams the door behind him.
Colton just kind of pops another whatever snack he's
A
eating.
couple of papers had fallen out of the portfolio. Other one.
Mm-hmm. Kind of pop another snack. That was awkward. But that's done with.
All right.
Way to go.
Say what?
I said, way to go.
Yeah!
You did
All right.
it. You did it.
What?
Okay. And at that point, I think we'll go and end the session there tonight with the rejection of Froone.
The awkward rejection.
The awkward rejection of Froone. So, great. Well, hey, thank you for joining us on another session. This is another meet a lot of NPCs and a lot
Flushing
of,
the town.
I know, flushing the town out, flushing out the White Stag. We're kind of getting things situated. Everybody says they wanted a base. This is what having a base is, okay? Nice. It's sessions and sessions of note keeping. No. So yeah. Thank you for joining us on Besties and Besties. I guess we should do the last ritual.
The last ritual.
Yeah, how are we feeling about tonight's session? So we'll go ahead and start with Sarah. Sarah, how are you feeling about tonight's session?
Dee is happy that we have found someone to not only manage the bar, but also make sure them kids are taken care of when they're around.
She's very emphatic that they get a tutor.
And she's fine with that as long as she's not the one that's responsible for it.
I want to adopt kids, but I don't want to have to watch them.
Yep.
I want all that. I want the glamour of saying that I have children.
Yep.
Yeah,
Dee knows
the
her.
Gwyneth Paltrow method.
Yeah,
I got
Dee
it.
knows who she is.
Yeah, Dee knows who she is.
She's very good with kids. She made one of them cry the first day. But she also did not realize that there were going to be other, dragon house members coming about, and that has now started making her nervous.
Yeah.
So she does not like that idea.
Interesting. Okay. Connor.
Feeling good. I like that. I feel like we had a good balance of the nitty gritty, but not getting so into it that it dominated the entire night. We're moving at a good pace. The fight, getting a little combat in, always good.
Always a good time.
I feel like my character got to look like a badass, which
There you
is
go.
always good. I liked it. I feel like we're moving at a good, brisk pace, and I'm excited to get this place up and running before the race of the 8 wins. Get us going.
Yeah.
How does Colton feel?
How does Colton feel?
How's Colton?
Feels bad that he had to do that to Froone, but admittedly, he's the one who offered him originally, and he figures it shouldn't be anyone else but him. He owns up to his mistakes, and he feels bad. He feels bad that he had to do it, but quite frankly, he does not trust. After remembering what this man did and just getting to know him, he doesn't trust him with the bar.
No, you know I'm not Froon, I'm Will, right? So
Yeah.
when you say that you own up, that Colton owns up to his mistakes, what you mean is Colton threw his party members under the bus so he could save face.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Like, I'm not Froon, you don't have to lie to me.
Yeah,
buddy.
man. Yeah. No, he totally was just like, no, put a good word in for you.
Yeah, I had your back, but you know how
Hardballing the group, man.
You know
Hardballing
how
the
other
group.
people be. I liked Froon's commentary at the end of like, yeah, you want your stuff to go missing. Real bitter motherfucker.
Yeah.
I love that little moment of, did you actually say that? No, I did not say that. That is a lie.
That's great.
Through my teeth. But no, it's Colton is excited. Colton is, these days he rarely gets excited. He is actually kind of excited to see what happens when this is up and running and we have this profitable base of operations that we can come and go from, and what kind of boon this could get for us.
Fair enough. All right. Well, how Cassie, how's Adelaide doing?
Yeah, I mean, she, as far as working with guilds, working with setting things up, I think she enjoys it and is sort of in her element in that that sphere. She is concerned about sort of Francis and his frustrations with his father and sort of what's going on with House Denise and his dad, and feeling at a loss to help him. There's also while Francis and her are good friends, and so it was like made in jest, but the pointing out her situation with her house, like, it hurts.
Oh, I don't think you know.
No, I mean, like, and it was, and she understands that it was meant in jest, but it's not the first time it's been pointed out, whenever it's pointed, House of Orion thing isn't working out, because that's, I mean, in an ideal world, she didn't want to leave her house.
Just a question: is Orion in the house in decline?
Orion, the war was not great for Orion. The advent of the Lyrandar skyships was really not great for Orion.
Okay.
One
I
of
think it's
Orion's.
probably most accurate to say the event that ended the war was probably not great for Orion.
Yeah.
So one of the House Orion's biggest biggest money makers in Corvair is the rail station, is the rail line. Mm-hmm. And the largest rail station, as well as many of the already established rail lines, went through Sear, and the large rail station was located in Metrol, the capital of Sear, and Sear is gone.
Okay.
Half the country has basically been shut off via lightning rail, which has caused some massive problems for the future of House Orion. So the future of House Orion is very unclear at this point.
Okay.
So, all right.
Well, I'm so sorry.
Sorry for your loss.
Sorry for your loss of the company that's having a loss.
Sorry for your quarterly losses.
Sorry for your losses.
Capitalism, man.
I want to create a new line of cards. Sorry for your quarterly losses. Send them to various CEOs. So, anyway, sorry. Let's get back to the person who I actually asked about the character.
Yeah, so again, really just sort of thinking about her place in the world now. I think that's what it is it's bringing it back to the front that the life that she once had she doesn't have anymore. Her trajectory has changed. So just sort of, again, continuing to try and wrap her head around that. But I think with the endeavor with the tavern, I do think she likes that. I think she likes the business end and the children having another, because she had previously stated, hey, shouldn't these kids be in school? And everybody was like, no, only if they want to, and having another person be like, yeah, they should be in school, they're children. Like, justified of, yes, of course, this is what she's already
I always
stated.
love it when, the adventuring mentality, takes over in D&D, and, normal, rational people who are like, my kids need to be in school and get good grades, but the second they hit the D&D table, they're like, these kids should get swords! They should be trained in alchemist fire.
I was gonna teach that kid how to shoot that bow real good.
Well, that's just American. Oh, you said bow. Never mind. I guess to shoot the gun, you'd have to teach them how to die first, so then they could use your special weird necrotic gun.
Yeah, that's a long process that I can't guarantee will work.
Long process.
Colton's
Alright.
real good at dying.
Colin, how's Brock
Unfortunately.
feeling about the whole?
So I think Brock is probably discovering that this whole create a business as a local kind of listening post idea that the party's put forth is going to be much more of a slow burn than he originally thought, and is probably a little bit impatient with the pace things are going. He was definitely happy to have an opportunity to do what he likes most, which is employing violence against a thing threatening Braylish citizens. Other than that, he is eager to eventually, whenever it may be, start working on some potentially dangerous inventions.
Sweet. Yeah, I mean, imagine if you could have just blown up the carrion crawler.
Wouldn't that have
wow.
been so much better?
Wouldn't it be nice if it would smolder?
We gotta clean these streets, man.
Then it wouldn't have to live so long. Nobody? Nobody could join me on the...
Oh no, that would be great.
I like Beach Boys, yes.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Thank you for that.
Oh, was that I'm sorry, that was a Beach Boys reference.
Yes, yes.
I apologize for
I couldn't
missing that
remember the
reference.
next lyrics.
That's okay. Anyway, all right. Hey, those of you at home, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Next time in the...
No, you can't say half his line.
Sorry.
He doesn't need that to be softball. He was poised and ready to go. In game.
It's not doing.
No, it is.
No.
The moment's ruined.
It's ruined.
It's ruined.
It's done.